tap the screen, hit the like. If you guys are listening on YouTube, y'all hit that like button. Greatly appreciate that. Thank you so very much for that. We discussed this before, but I'm just seeing so many videos about it, and there's still such a valuable lesson learned. There were so many people who made great statements, you know, gave great opinions about the subject, right? So we're definitely going to get into that again, because I still think that there is a valuable lesson that can be learned in all of this. There's definitely a valuable lesson that can be learned in all of this. So we're going to have this conversation. And a lot of people are acting like, oh, why y'all picking on her? Why y'all doing this? No, this is bigger than Tyla. This is bigger than one person. This is about really the culture. And this is about what the culture says and how the culture is always, all caps, always right. The culture is always right. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter how much popularity you think you have. It doesn't matter how much clout you think you have, how much motion you think you have, even if you do have all of that stuff. At the end of the day, the culture is always right. And the culture will always win. That's just what it is. And this is the lesson that's being taught. This is not somebody saying you're bullying somebody or not wanting somebody to succeed. This is not saying that. But the thing is that we operate a certain way in this country. All right. As Foundation Black Americans, we have the most. Are you guys still on this? Oh, well, okay. We're gonna. If you disagree, you can kind of come up. Yes, we are still on it. Okay, and we can be on it for as long as we want to. All right. Just hold on for a second. I'm waiting for a couple of people to come in here real quick, and then we're gonna get the room started. But the thing is that we're realizing we're realizing, like, with people like, for instance, Tyler, with people like Fat Joe, with people like, or with things like the BET Awards, with things like Essence Fest. I want you guys to understand, none of this stuff is happening by itself. I mean, there's no surprise that you see what happened with Essence Fest. You're seeing what happened to Fat Joe. You're seeing what happened to Busta Rhymes. You're seeing what happened to Tyla. Even though it's a very similar situation, goes a little bit deeper, you're actually seeing what's going on with Drake right now. You're seeing what's going on with people who think that they can move outside of the direction and the instruction of the culture. All right. When people, when these entities and these things rely on the culture, like Essence, like Tyler, like Fat Joe, like BET Awards, like Drake, like all of these things, and I'm gonna have to go on YouTube to really bring up the receipts as far as all of these things are concerned. When these things rely on the culture dictates the way they move. That's just point blank, period. Okay, what happened to Busta? Well, the situation with Busta, I'm glad you asked that question. Busta was out there putting out false propaganda that hip hop is not a FBA music genre. Okay, it doesn't belong to us. It belongs to, like, us and Hispanics and Caribbeans. And when Fat Joe was being corrected, or not Fat Joe, when what did I just say his name? Busta Rhymes. When Busta Rhymes was being corrected on all of those things, Busta Rhymes he doubled down and he went along with the propaganda that Black Americans didn't create hip hop by ourselves. Hip hop was some Jamaican invention or whatever the case is. And he's trying to give credit where credit is not due to the Caribbean. All right. And now you see, ain't nobody really checking for Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes is now he's trying to take stolen valor. That's something that a lot of people don't find respectful. Okay. People do not respect that. And people were trying to tell Busta Rhymes and Fat Joe, hey, I don't know what type of machine that's kind of pushing y'all to say this. I don't know what type of propaganda is trying to get y'all to push this false narrative that hip hop is some type of universally created genre, but it's not, and y'all need to stop. And now nobody's checking for either one of them. Okay. And now, really, at this point, nobody's even checking for the BET Awards, because we've been saying something about the BET Awards. And the BET Awards just kept doing what they wanted to do, ignoring the culture. Okay, when you go against the grain, it's gonna backfire. And now the BET Awards, now they ended the Hip Hop Awards, they ended the Soul Train Awards, they ended all this stuff because ain't nobody checking that out. Ain't nobody checking that out. Essence, people came to Essence for generations. Essence, people have been going to Essence for generations. And now look, okay. Look at the situation we got going on. This is what happens when you don't understand that the culture is always right. It doesn't matter what you think or what you do. Okay? Now, if you don't want to comply, you need to stay away from the culture. But you're not going to benefit off of a culture and then ignore the way it goes. You're just not going to do that. And you're not going to benefit from a culture and then try to change the way it goes. You're not doing that. When people talking about you guys are bullying, no, 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 no. This is a teaching lesson because you guys have been trying to coddle and spoil her and act like she's bigger than the program the entire time. Y'all want it, and it's something with the diaspora. Y'all want your own version of Aaliyah so bad that everything she did, y'all came and ran defense for. Because this is bigger than to you all liking her music. This is about proving a point. That's how a lot of y'all see it. Y'all wanted to prove some type of point to us that y'all can have a Aaliyah or another Beyonce or something like that. Y'all wanted to prove that point, okay? And you allowed a problem to go out of control. And we're having this live again because a lot of people still got things to say. But at the end of the day, the culture is always right. It's always right. But we can get the room started. So we got a lot of people in here. BX, can you set the room? Can you set the decorum of the room? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you? Can you
I'm
hear
good.
me okay?
Yeah.
You know what? You know what I noticed really fast? If they can't compare with the original, they try to make them Caribbean or African. See how that works? They
Yeah,
always
they
talk about,
do.
well, he's Caribbean anyway. He's African anyway. Oh, it started in Africa. It's annoying. These people were living at one time. If they didn't tell us they were Caribbean, guess what? I ain't gonna consider them Caribbean. There's a reason for that. So when you come in a room, hi everybody. When you come in a room and you request to come up, immediately go on mute when allowed on the panel. When directed to speak, please lead with your race and ethnicity. And if you're over 18, you don't have to give an exact age. If you go by pronouns, we don't really use that here. But if you want us to know your pronouns, feel free to say it, but it's not required. So when I say race and ethnicity, this is what I mean. And I'm going to use myself for an example. My race is Black. My ethnic group is African American / Black American, but I culturally identify as FBA, a foundational Black American. For those who don't seem to get it yet. What that means is that my ancestors was here in the United States of America during our emancipation period of 1863 to 1865 and can be found on a USA state census of 1870. If your ancestors does not fit that criteria, then you are not an African American / Black American, nor should you culturally identify as a foundational Black American. So if you are your parents' country of origin. So if you have two parents that come from Jamaica, you are Jamaican American, Haitian American, Nigerian American, Ghanaian American, South African American, Ethiopian American, St. Lucian American, so on and so forth. If you have two parents, one is a foundational Black American, and one is from another place, then you are bi-ethnic. That's a respectful way to say it, okay? And then, you just say you're bi-ethnic and we'll ask you what two countries of origin your ancestors come from. Everybody is allowed to speak here, so it's no tea, no shade. If you were born here, because we do know that people migrate here and have children, you're still not Black American. I noticed that y'all are going by race and nationality, purposely omitting ethnicity. We lead by ethnic group here, okay? So TikTok friendly language only, no cussing. Gotta say shmurda, schmex, great, hard candy, Even say Mary Jane for the green stuff. See that heart up by Afro Elite's name? Click that heart so you can and complete the daily mission so you could keep them in the algorithm and in the rankings. Also, do not comment F1 or fruit emojis in the chat. Continuously like the live. Please share it and share it to your stories too. Let's get some people in here. And please, when you come up, don't jump off your mic when other people are talking. Y'all have a habit of doing that even after I set the room. So let's have a great discussion. This is going to, they're looking for a great hope, like the white tea people do when it comes to boxing, and we got a champion out there just tearing it up. They're, this, he gonna do this, he gonna do that, and then the white tea man get beat up, something like that. And I think that's what the diaspora does with us, but there's nothing like the original Afro.
No, no, it's not. People talking about we're jealous. First off, and I'm not even trying to be that person, but she's not doing that well right now. You talking about we're jealous, and what has she brought to the table, or to music, or to the genre even, that we've not seen before? And I'm not trying to dismiss her or hate on her or kick somebody when they're down, but what has she done that we haven't seen before? She's not, and there have been other people like her that have been successful. So it's jealous of what exactly? What is there to be jealous of? All right, and y'all just say at this point, y'all really just saying anything, okay? Cause y'all had some like plot, yeah, and somebody's like, she's only 22. This is why this is a teaching lesson and not bullying. All right, let's get to, because we could really kick somebody when they're down, but no, we're having a civilized conversation. So with that being said, we're going to get to Sweet Wolfie. How you doing, sister? How you doing?
How y'all doing? Hey BX. Hey
Hey,
Afro.
Wolfie.
How you
Hey
doing?
everyone on the panel. Hey chat. So this comes down to representation. People have a problem when we want to be represented in our own country. By us, for us, boo boo. You know?
Mm,
And and it comes to the thing is we open up the gates and we welcome a lot of people into our culture where they felt like our culture wasn't ours and it was someone else, to the point that they try to push us out our very own culture. And it's, this is about representation. We didn't had so many elite leaders or people in our culture that we can look up to from our lineage, that we don't have to go outside that culture. And we have people calling themselves boring, but it's starting to feel like they're appropriating and stealing, trying to claim our culture. Because keep in mind, when Beyonce did Afro beats, she was met with HAT from the continent, as if the founder of Afro beats did not come over here and get not married, but was getting involved with a black woman that was a panther that taught him about black love, something that he never knew before he immigrated and got deported out of the United States. And that's why he brought back, and that's why they have Afro beats. But when Beyonce did it, it was met with so much HAT. And when she's doing her American lineage music, it is still met with so much HAT because they can't tether on to her message. Beyonce is not stepping into no one else's culture. She's 100% in her culture because people call themselves boring from our culture and trying to say it's not ours. You understand? Afrobeats borrowed from our culture and was met with hatred when Beyonce exposed it. And look at what Afrobeats is doing now in America. It's not doing great because y'all was disrespectful to the culture. Just like this young lady, and I'm gonna try to go fast because I do see your panel. Just like this young lady, when we asked her, "Are you black?" and she couldn't answer that question, that was disrespectful because they was marketing you to Black Americans. They put you on Black Americans magazine, Black Americans media, Black Americans radio station, and it's not our fault that you didn't have trained media or a good PR. Your PR was the big R racist. It was you. All looked and seen who was your management. You had badge management before you even flew on that plane to the United States. Once we looked them up, we wasn't standing with you. Keep in mind, if you're not black and you're not claiming who you are, why you in our market? And why your people is so racist towards black Americans? And they even, but it's not just the color is racist. It was black Africans from South Africa that was racist too. So let's get this together. You want us to spend our hard-earned money on somebody that could not, who feel like she's an uppity African, when 76% of South Africans don't even have a job. So let's get this. She was saying she was better than y'all in South Africa. And you wanted us to support her? Y'all silly. We want representation from our lineage and only our lineage at this point in life. And I land on that.
All right, all right. I'm waiting on someone to come in. Look, the thing is that y'all were very upset. Y'all were a lot of people, and we remember that, were very upset at Beyonce. Talking about who Beyonce thinks she is. She thinks she the queen of Africa. Why Beyonce thinks she can go to Africa and just do whatever she wants to do. Okay, well, I mean, okay, Beyonce ain't the queen of Africa. Y'all wanted Beyonce to stay in her lane. Okay. And I guess something she did offended y'all. All right then. And we just, all we said was, all right, okay, cool then. Okay. Now, if Beyonce can't go over there and do whatever she wants to do because y'all say something about it, then you can't have Tyla come over here and do what she want to do, and then we not have anything to say about it. Okay. As far as the thing, you come to somebody else's land. It's not an educational moment for us for you to be identified as colored. It's an educational moment for you. You need to first learn what is offensive and not offensive to that group of people before you come in there. Okay. It's not her responsibility to teach us. It's our responsibility to teach her. And she should have listened with open ears, because the culture is always right. Let's get to, because there's a lot of people want to speak. Let's get to Tucson.
Yep.
Hey, what's going on, man? What's going on?
Yep. 36, white tee, American.
Oh, okay. What's up? What?
He has an ethnic group, Afro. What type of white tea are you? Irish, Italian, German, Polish?
Mostly German, Polish.
Thank you. Go ahead, Afro.
Well, what do you have to say about this?
Yeah, I mean, I see that you don't, some people might not like her, because she's not exactly representing, the culture. But also, I just wanted to say, like, award shows are cringe. I mean, almost all of them are just really lame in general. It's to quantify, like, who's best, in, like, movie, film, music, shows. It just is really lame. And it's just stroking egos of already successful people. So I'll land my plane.
All right, thanks. All right, let's get to I'm tetherless. Okay. All right then.
Hey, how you doing?
That was
Good.
yeah. How you doing?
Great. 49 years old, from Philly, Philadelphia, PA, and foundational Black American. I was speaking to a gentleman and his wife early on. They are both from South Africa. They are both classified as colored, and we were having a dialogue in regards to this young lady right here, and I had to educate them on the word color here in America and how it's offensive to our ethnic group of people. At one time they did use that to refer to us, and I had to explain to them that we don't use that word no more, and something like that, it would be, once we heard the word, pretty sure, once a lot of older Black Americans heard the word, and, oh, she's using the word color, and I understand from their point of view, during the apartheid area, you got to realize that people of color, mixed race, Black and white people, East Indians, Arabs, in South Africa were classified as they had that color system. They're all classified in one ethnic group as colored, and I understand that.
Hmm.
But you also have to realize once you come to another country, you have to respect the rules of the land. And her group of people should have educated her on how things go here in the United States, and threw that colored word out the door. Don't even recognize that, because if you're trying to sell yourself to a certain audience and try to, further your career, there's just some things that you just do not do. And for her to be on a hee hee ha ha, well, yeah, I'm that uppity type of African type of attitude, was just a no go. You got to realize in South Africa, the colored group of people are between the Afrikaners, who are the Europeans, and the British, and the native blacks. So they're somewhat of a step above black people, even though they still are people of color. So they don't look at themselves as being, black, even the ones who are mixed race. But at the
Hmm.
same time, that does not go here, and that's I land my plane.
Hmm. Yeah, the thing is that, and when she said colored, I'm not surprised because I've met South Africans before, and I understand, and I knew about their identification before. I knew that. I've met a colored South African years before, like almost like about 10 years. I was like what 15, something like that.
Yeah,
And I had a South African friend who was colored, you know, and we
and
talked
they're
about
they're
different
okay with the
identifications.
term.
So
They're
I
okay with the
knew.
term. Yeah,
Yeah, I knew about that. And there are a lot of black Americans who knew about that. A lot of people like, y'all just don't understand. No, it's not about not understanding. The thing is that now he said that about his identity to me. But the thing is that you do got to understand, even if we know and can rationalize why you guys do that over here, it's a different situation over here. Okay, the word might mean something very different in South Africa than it does over here. So even if we get it means something different over there, but over here it means this. So when you come over here, you need to understand, not us. No, we not the ones who need to be taught anything. You need to understand that you need to come over here and you need to act correct. Okay? It's not about us conforming to you. That's not the way that works. All right. Let's get to economics guide.
Ebonics, hi.
Ebonics. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm African American as well.
Okay.
And what I have a few thoughts. Um, I don't think the word colored is a legitimate sort of offense for younger people. We use the word people of color. We use NAACP uses the word color as well. So I think a lot of people grasp for that and that to incite rage. I don't take that as seriously when people mention this. But what I will say is what South Africans don't understand is that the her fans don't understand is that they really promoted the term colored as a caste. And so here in the United States, we understand that people are mixed race, but we don't really classify that as a caste. But the way in which her fans interact with other people, particularly African Americans, is they act as if it's a caste. And so therefore, if you're going to take away the idea of if you're going to say that she's something completely different than being mixed, then I have nothing in common with her in terms of my endearment and affection. Then she's just another artist. And I may like her music, I may not like her music, but I don't, but I then lose that idea of, oh, I should listen to this Black artist and see, what this is about. So they have made her into another artist who's not Black, who we get to not have to have so much endearment over and give a sense of grace over, because they have turned the idea of her being colored as a caste versus just the idea of race. And I understand in South Africa it is a caste system, but in the United States, when somebody is mixed, we don't view it as a caste. We understand that they're mixed race. And if I was her PR, I would have advised to her team is let her call herself mixed race And then in the documentary of getting to know her, then we understand her history. We understand how she ends up, what her label is in South Africa. Because we understand mixed race. And even not right now, I also feel like she's in a
One moment,
shift.
ma'am, Ebony, one moment, because I know a lot of
Please don't
multiracial.
interrupt me.
But
Please.
wait, no, hold on, because you're offending certain demographics when you say mixed. You can say multiracial or biracial. That's all I was stopping you
Okay,
for.
but okay, multiracial, biracial. Okay.
Thank you.
So we understand this in the United States, and with a rollout, nobody wants to do a proper rollout. They should have gotten into the details of who she is in South Africa and her cultural background in South Africa. But instead of her connecting as a South African artist in an international market, they led with what her racial makeup is. I don't see other African artists doing that. I understand that Burna Boy is Igbo, but he did not label himself as United States. I'm sorry, I had a phone call. So she didn't lead properly as being just a South African artist, and she should have just said she's multiracial. And then in a good documentary on YouTube, she should, in her album rollout, she should have gotten into what does it mean to be colored, what is it influenced as. But her fan base really promoted that it's a cast, it's something completely different. They can relate to, even technically mixed with black as a colored person. So if you're taking away this idea of her being mixed, of we can't even relate to her being mixed with black, she's just something completely different, then she gets that treatment of she's an racially other artist who we do not have to have a specific endearment over. And if we do like her music, we like her music. And that's all I have to say.
Well, the to say that it is kind of like a cast, and I do know about that. We do know about South Africa. The thing is that in America there's a couple of issues that people took from that. One, just the term colored in and of itself. Okay, when you say people of color versus somebody being colored, that's not necessarily the same thing. And you're not seeing as many people say people of color anymore anyway. But saying somebody is a person of color versus somebody is colored, or I'm a colored person, that's not really the same thing. Even if we want to use the NAACP, that was started that was started 100 almost years ago or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So when the term
Yeah.
colored
Okay, but we're not
was
demanding that they
popularized.
change their
No,
name.
it's a
What?
whole
Hold
We're
history
on,
of
not.
hold
color.
So
on,
I'm just saying
hold on.
I don't buy the
Ma'am,
argument.
hold on. Let me explain why people. There was a couple of reasons, right? Because let's be honest, it is outdated. Second, one thing is that we understand when it comes to people who are of mixed racial backgrounds or mixed ethnicities or whatever the case is, a lot of times they get marketed as, well, this is a black person, and that's fine, because we have mixed race people in the community. We have mixed race artists, all actors and
Afro. I
artists and
just
all
said
of that.
mixed and multiracial.
Well, I
Afro.
don't see how that is offensive. I just don't. I
Yeah,
mean,
I've had biracial people say, I'm not mixed, I'm not this, I'm not that. So I just figured for the, for the
Also,
okay, if
and BA,
everybody
before
look,
y'all jump over and move to someone else, can we address this? Because this is going to be
yeah.
a erasure of history. People of color freeman was used on the 1790 census to describe only one ethnic group of people, and that's Black American. And it's because they was freed, never enslaved. So when they used that on the censors in 1790, it is not the same as mixed. So the way they use colored, and then they, like, what's that, 60 years later change it to the new Negro in the 1920s. It's a whole history, and South Africa history do not fall into our timeline, and it don't fall into our history.
okay.
But color is used differently, and it has a different meaning in the United States, and it's not the same of the people of color who tried to immigrate and take the identity of people of color of today.
So what I was saying was there's a couple of reasons why people were upset about it. Okay, couple of reasons. You have people who are biracial. For everybody in this generation who want to be offended by every single thing, you have biracial people in the community. All right, and we realize there are some people who identify solely as being black, and then there are some people who, for instance, like a Tiger Woods or something, who they'll ride on or they'll get their notoriety from being black. And then when they get their notoriety, they be all like, well, I'm not really black like that. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to identifying or trying to represent the black community, they'll side with their non-black side, and they'll pull a Tiger Woods, be all like, hold on, well, I'm technically this. I'm not really black like that. So that's why when we see somebody who is not fully black or whatever, and then they don't really identify or they're hesitant with identifying as black, we side eye that because we understand that you will use being black or the black community to boost you up there and then your career, and then when you feel like you made it, you're not black no more. All right, so we've seen that before. So that's one thing that people noticed when they saw when they heard her reluctance to say I'm black. Okay, because it's not like she said, well, I'm black and I'm colored. She didn't say that. It was a denial of her being black and her.
Yes, I'm saying they doubled down on it being a caste.
Yes, but I'm telling you what the people's issue is.
I
Not
know
only
the
is
people.
that
I'm saying they doubled down on it being completely separate.
okay. Yes, but the thing is that there are reasons why people had an issue with that. And the thing is that when you realize people have an issue because you're not in South Africa, you have to then conform to what the people want. Okay, now you got to follow what the culture is. If I was to go to South Africa, I would have to follow what the culture is in South Africa. It's just point blank period. And if she comes to America, she has to now to follow this culture because she's being marketed how she's being marketed on magazines and on different podcasts, doing all of that stuff. She's being marketed as a black girl, regardless of what anybody says. She was marketed as a black girl. I don't care what nobody says, okay? And nobody had an issue with that until she said certain things, and we were like, okay, are you using the black community to kind of get you up there, and then you gonna switch up on us? What's going on with how you acting? Okay, and then she doubled down on the color thing, which people found offensive anyway. And that was one of many instances that people didn't like. It's not just that one instance. There were several different instances that people was all like, you know what, all of this stuff adds up and we don't like it. And that's why we're here right now.
Yeah, and I just want to chime in.
I wanted, because Ebonics or Ebony, there are people stating that you're not African American, that you couldn't identify as foundational Black American. You're not
I heard
lineage.
I heard her voice before. She's African. I've heard her voice before. This young lady's African.
Right.
I'm African American. My family's from Kentucky.
What?
No, I've heard she's been on other lives before.
Ebonics Guide to Arabic. You could go to my website. Hold on. You can go to my website, Ebonics Guide to Arabic, and you can read what I'm trying to do there. Okay. So I'm.
Do you descend from United States chattel slavery?
Yes.
Like you had ancestors enslaved?
Yes.
Okay.
You can go to my website, Ebonics Guide to Arabic, where I'm literally teaching a foreign language by using AAV.
Your website doesn't.
Ebonics.
Your website doesn't work. By the way, it doesn't work.
Oh no! Ebonics Guide to Arabic.com. Oh no!
It doesn't work.
No, it should go. I don't know what's going on.
I've heard this young lady's voice before.
We're gonna move on.
Okay, we're gonna move on. I just wanted to clarify that.
I just wanted to make a quick point, Afro, to what you just said. It's about cultural competency. You cannot use a racial caste system that's used in South Africa for America. That's where her team messed up.
I didn't say that.
No, I didn't listen. I didn't say
that.
You need to stop.
I wasn't talking to you, ma'am. I wasn't talking to you. Again, you got stop personalizing when people speak. This is not you. This is about cultural competency. I work in the music industry, in regards of marketability, right? You have to know the culture in which you're navigating. Tyla's biggest, because I read about this girl, Tyla's biggest inspirations are all primarily Black American artists. Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson, Aaliyah. So to the point, yes, she's being marketed heavily as a Black American artist. Like I don't understand, like why you have to understand how these things work in terms of the new age digital way of rolling out an artist. I'll land my plane on that one.
Yeah. This when it comes to rolling out, now mind you, she's still new to the thing. When it comes to rolling out an artist, they try to market her to a certain demographic. Whether if it's an older artist, they try to market them to the older demographic. If it's a younger artist, they market them to a younger demographic, so on and so forth. She was marketed as a young Black girl, all right? She was on the magazines. She was on the podcast. That's how she was marketed, as even though she was South African, but that's how she was marketed to the Black community, okay? And if you're going to do that, then you're going to have to respect what the Black community says. And there are certain things that we've seen that was all like, okay, well, she really doesn't respect what Black Americans think. There have been multiple instances that make people say, okay, well, she clearly doesn't care that much about what Black Americans think. That's not, she doesn't care that much. We're going to move on, though. I'm going to have to circle some people out. But thank you all. Thank you all.
I'll drop. I just want to. Well, you know what? I'll just drop because I know you want to get other people up here.
All right. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. 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 Cool. Cool.
Can I speak?
Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna let if Zizi is ready, I'll let her go and give her stance real quick, and then we'll get to Ashia.
Peace, I am ready. I just got back from the gym, so I'm trying to lay my baby heads down right quick. I get on camera in like 5 minutes. Give me a couple minutes. But, how you
I
doing?
didn't even see you there.
I'm with ABS.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm pretty good. Good to be
That's
here.
good.
Yeah, I seen that Tyla only sold like 4,000. Was it like 4,000 units?
So
Album?
3.7K.
Jesus, not even 4, not even 3. Okay, yeah. I mean, rightfully so, to be honest. She was highly disrespectful. And honestly, just unnecessarily disrespectful with the whole I'm colored, I'm not Black, it was just a very unnecessary debacle that could have been cleaned up very easily. I don't know if that's her team, but I think it's her because I think she probably has the common sense to have cleaned that up herself. But yeah, this is what you get when you try to exploit from FBA culture. She's not the only one. There's been many examples before her, and not only Black ones specifically, or she says she's not Black, but melanated ones. But you see this a lot of times with white people as well, with or white tea people. The artist Tommy Richmond, he came out with a couple songs and he was hot for a second. Then he came out saying I'm not a hip hop artist. So they do that. They'll attach themselves, ride the wave of Black culture, but then once you get put in the loop, once you get labeled, something connected to our culture is, oh no, I'm not that. Oh no, I'm really not that though. But I just want y'all attention. I just want your money. So it's the same formula they use. Very much exploiting our culture. Nothing new, but yeah. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. How the rest of her rollout goes. But I'm not surprised. I'm not listening to her album. I didn't even know she dropped it. So yeah.
By the way, did y'all know they made up there's a new Grammy performance that's only maybe like 2 years old. It's Best African Performance. That's the only reason why she got a Grammy.
Oh wow. I didn't even that was
like
a new.
I said, and the other thing, there's a huge push for like African music now. It's a huge marketing push for African music, Afro beats and all of that stuff, which I'm not going to say it's all bad because the people have different tastes in things and we can respect that. We're adult and mature enough to respect the fact that everybody has different tastes in certain things. But the thing is that they're realizing that the big Afro beats push and the African music push is not really landing like that here. It was cool, but it's really just not is not really landing. It's not going to have no huge longevity. At best, it's always going to be a niche of people who might like the music, but the music is never going to have this big longevity thing or this big notoriety like hip hop. It's just not going to do that. It's not going to do that. Okay, it's going to fall into a niche of people or a niche category or genre. rather. All right.
Absolutely. It'll never replace hip hop or R&B. Honestly, anything we've ever created, it's not as good.
Yeah. And that's racist? No, it's not racist. It's Lord, y'all so damn sensitive. It's insane. Let's get to Ashia.
Family. My name is Asia.
Asia. Okay. My
I'm
bad.
foundational Black American. I had a few points to touch on. I see a lot of people saying that we're hating on her when we've been welcoming of all artists. I personally love Tim's. I love Sade. I love Rihanna. I love all these different artists. So criticizing somebody doesn't mean hate. You know what I mean? And another person in the comments were basically saying that she was showing up for a lot of our events, Black events. She actually did, which was after the controversy of her not wanting to basically say she was Black on the Breakfast Club. She went to the Essence Black Women red carpet event or something of that nature. And they were asking, you know how they say, what do you love about Black women? What do you love about Black men? And everybody was giving their comments, all the artists that was there. And she was the only one that was very cringy, trying to insinuate she loves their, what? Like out of all of them, everybody was respectful. And, we love the resilience of a Black man. We love all these. And I'm like, she was just trying too hard. And I've noticed that they were pushing her to kind of be a stereotype of, of us that doesn't fit all of us. Towards the end of this flop, towards the end of that spectrum. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I just don't think it's hate. And we are the culture, so we decide. Kendrick Lamar is the result of that, the culture choosing what we like, despite the machine pushing whatever. And to be honest, I never even bought her stuff to begin with. Her popular song Water was forced upon me. I used to hear it in my dreams because that's how much I heard it when I was out and about. So I never even streamed it or any of that. I heard it outside. So I think they made her more than what she was, and then the attitude didn't help, because she has this it's something about her, the energy that she gives off, that's just it's inauthentic, so that's it. That's all I had to say.
Well, if I cycle, and I gotta say this, because if I cycle people out, that doesn't mean I didn't like what you have to say, or that doesn't mean that you can't come back up. I just want to have a lot of different opinions and stances on the thing.
Right.
Yes, she was. She was marketed, like I said, she was marketed as a Black girl. She was not marketed as no ambiguous, nothing like it. It was not like that. So we're not gonna do that where Black people are finding a reason. But there's been things there's been multiple different things, and what the thing is that we're seeing a pattern. Okay, we don't call foul off the first situation. But if it's a flag on the play, and then another flag, and another flag, and another flag, and another flag, now we're like, okay, well, hold on. Wait a second. Let me pull you to the side, because we're noticing a pattern of things that, regardless of what you feel, we feel that's problematic.
Yeah, I don't think her team was good as
alone, and we left it alone entirely.
Yeah, I don't think the team helped either, because anybody that studies our culture would know certain things and the things that we are sensitive of. I just think it's a respect thing, period.
Yeah.
So thank you. You guys have a good one.
Thank you. You too. Let's get to the plane. Sep, I can't really see it. I gotta look into your thing.
Yeah. Shaplan, thanks, host.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Thanks so much for this opportunity. I'm from Zim, Zimbabwe, which is right next to South Africa, where Tyla comes
Zimbabwe.
from. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We do have colored people as well. Basically, they're descendants of mixed people from different races. So basically, that's that. But I want to focus specifically on just the conversation that has been happening around Tyla ever since she broke out in the US. For me, what I feel is that this whole discourse has been led by misinformation after misinformation after misinformation from the word go. and a lot of these conversations have been misrepresenting what Tyla has said.
Okay.
For example, when Tyla went to the United States, she never led with the like identifying herself as colored. She didn't even bring that up. It was brought up by the internet, not Tyla. Tyla
Mhm.
already she never brought that her identity up. She always introduced herself as I'm South African, I'm Tyla, I'm from South Africa. That's all she ever did. She
Okay.
never ever even mentioned color. But what happened? Because in South Africa there is like a day called Heritage Day. Back in 2019 when she was 20 years old, she was just doing her like preparing for the Heritage Day and
She,
wearing some Zulu garment, etc. And then that's why she said, "Oh, I'm Tyla. I'm from meet me. I'm Tyla. I'm from South Africa. I'm a colored, which means I'm a mixture of Zulu, etc. whatsoever."
hmm
People picked that video, which was way before she came to the US. Picked that video and started discussing it when she started blowing up.
Okay.
That's when they started bringing up, and Tyler didn't even like at that time. I think the her and the management were like, "Oh, people maybe are just having a conversation." But people started making narratives around it. Oh, she's colored. That means maybe she's not one of us, or maybe she white. She identify as colored. Blah blah blah.
Okay.
They made it as if it's something that she did when she was in the US soil, which never happened. I think they addressed it way before the breakfast interview with a magazine. I forgotten the magazine, and she explained the very same way that she did after the breakfast interview, where she put up a statement. She explained in that magazine, but people continued to twist what she was saying and weaponize it. That's when I think the fear from Tyler herself to talk about it came from. And given the Breakfast Club, how hostile that space is, it's you imagine this is a 21-year-old who just came from South Africa. She has never been interrogated about who she is. It's something very new. But it's not that she didn't understand the culture, the Black American culture. It's not that she was trying to distance herself. Tyler loves Black American culture, especially the colored community, because like most of their idols, they feel like they have this connection with the Black American culture. They are more connected. Like
Mhm.
if I
I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you land because there's a lot. Everybody here is new, and I want
okay,
to get to
okay,
everybody
okay,
to speak. But
okay. So
I get what you're saying.
okay. Can I just maybe
Yeah, I'm gonna
on
let
the
you
issue
land. I'm
of
gonna let you land.
yes. So what I'm just saying is that this conversation about Tyler's identity it was never led by Tyler. She wasn't going around saying I'm colored. Never. She didn't say that. She only
Mhm.
responded whenever she was asked, but she identified herself as South African and embraced their blackness proudly. And then let me comment on the album themselves, just to correct what's being said. These sales are for an EP that only has 4 songs, two of which were released months ago. So it's only 4 songs, two of which were released months ago, and it was never promoted in the US. She did some listening sessions in Germany and the
Okay.
UK. And then, so it really doesn't reflect anything about his status of a career in the US because
No,
Mister Shah
because
just got
there's another.
certified.
Hold on.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, everybody's all like, the thing is 4 songs. The thing is 4 songs. With someone with her status and publicity, it should have sold more units. Nobody can make it seem like with the amount of publicity she has going to different award shows and because everybody knows of her, it would be okay if she was a new artist, but she's not. It's not like she's an unknown artist. It's not like she doesn't already have a Grammy. For an EP to sell 3.7K after winning a Grammy, that's poor. All right, we're not gonna sit up there and make it seem
Okay.
like that's fine and okay. Now, here's the thing: what you're saying with the whole thing of colored, you all are making it seem like we don't understand that. You guys are making it seem like that's something that we don't get and we can't comprehend. It's really the response she gave that let us view a certain attitude that she has that we didn't understand she has, or maybe a certain feeling that she has that we didn't understand, because it's not just the colored situation. It was kind of the color situation, which could have been easily cleared up, but the way she acted about it on the Breakfast Club, and then the way she acted at different award shows when she was giving her trophy to Holly, and the way she acted when somebody said she's an uppity African and started to troll. So she's doing little things. There's been multiple things, and then somebody said something about she made a song where she kind of dissed reparations. She did, and so there's been multiple things to us, so we can be all like, okay, she's acting like she doesn't care what Black Americans think. Okay, it's not that we're
Can
uneducated, is that we're seeing a pattern of behavior, and now we're seeing, okay, you're really starting to let us know that you just don't give a damn what nobody think. That's the issue that people have with her. And if you're going to come over here and act like a diva and act like you just don't give a damn what nobody think, then we don't have to give a damn about your music. This is what people are saying. People are not super offended and pulling their hair out over the colored comment, but it was the smug attitude and the dismissal of people being offended that she showed when it came to the colored comment. If she acted in a more mature way, it would have been fine. But it was that along with other things where it was all like, you know what? Okay, well, if damn, if you kind of moving like this, and okay, then all right then. And people are starting to notice this. And as people were saying that, you had her fans come in and say we were xenophobic, say we were ignorant, say we were hateful and jealous, the same way y'all been saying in the comment right now. Okay, in the chat room, I mean, right now. Anytime somebody said anything about her, y'all made it seem like we were attacking y'all whole ethnicity, or y'all made it seem like we was dissing y'all mama the way y'all made it seem. So it led to this situation. Okay,
can
and
I
that's why
can
we're
I
here now.
can I
May I,
Well,
respond?
may
we
I
gotta
speak?
hold on, because Crypto was up here next.
Yo, what's up, family?
What's up, bro?
Afro, what up, BX? Um, I'm a foundational Black American.
Hmm.
Tyla, her whole thing is, man, she didn't. We told her to take her shoes off before she came in, and she didn't want to do that. That's how I look at that whole situation. She didn't read the room at all. She wasn't respectful to our culture, and what really pushed her down and suppressed her was her country. Everybody had something to say and they wasn't responding in the right way. And that's why you got to hold your people accountable, because they really are the ones who was making all the comments saying that she's theirs. We want her to be this. And it's like, we accepted her. Like, and that's one thing, we are very accepting people.
Hmm.
And just to be called black, it's some white tea people we'll call black. That ain't no disrespect or nothing like that. That's just us accepting them as ours. You invited to the cookout, and we invited her to the cookout. Told her to take her shoes off, and she didn't take her shoes off. Nowhere did she stand up and say anything that's uplifting or anything that's saying that she's a part of us, and we just wasn't having it. And that whole color thing, if we let people come over and we establish that over here on our soil, we work to get rid of the whole color thing. So it'll start all over again. Then there'll be people from different countries, oh, I'm colored. Then everybody thinking they got the right to call anybody colored. And it's like, no, we done with that. So I just look
I
at it like,
I do want to add something.
Hold on, before, because there's been a couple of other people. I'm gonna let you speak though. Nobody. Do you have anything else to say, or can I cycle you out? Or did you want to add something later?
Yeah, yeah. It was a question about I think it was to Olu about in regards to she had a comment in the section comment in the comment section about basically talking about I think cultural clarification in regards of how we do things, because in Nigeria, right? I mean, in Nigeria, or I think it was South Africa, they dethroned the lady because she wasn't really quote unquote South African. She was Nigerian. So my thing is, right, they have no problem clarifying how their culture should be defined in terms of beauty standards or whatever like that. That's what I was trying to tell Ebonics earlier. She tried to use a dynamic that's not used in the United States anymore. And even then it's our colored versus how they define it in South Africa is vastly different. So again, it's about cultural relativism and competency. So the thing I would ask you, Olu, in regards to that, are y'all checking Nigerians and South Africans in regards to how they're clarifying their culture when it comes to you being a guest in it?
Are you speaking to me?
Yes, I'm talking to you.
Okay, my name is Shay.
Oh, it says Olu. No offense to you. I don't know you, so I'm going by what I see. It's Olu Sowe, so I'm calling you Olu. I don't got time for all that.
Okay, the full name is Oluwa Shay, but if you want to call the short version, it's Shay.
Okay, Olu. Cool. That's what. All right, go ahead.
So you're gonna disrespect my name?
Okay, just Olu. All right, it's Olu.
Just say Shay. My name is
Shay. Just say her name.
My name is Shay. I didn't disrespect you this whole time. I haven't even spoke to you.
I'm saying it's Shay. It's Shay.
I'm talking to him. Like, are you gonna respect my name? I'm like, should I even respond to you? Because you mad disrespectful.
Nobody. It's Shay. It's
1
okay.
minute.
We're mature.
Ma'am,
we're adults.
No, he's not mature because he just disrespected my name, and I told him it's Shay.
Ma'am. Okay.
No, no, it's Shay. It's okay. Now we're adults. Now, can you respond to his question real quick?
Yes. So in Nigeria, if a South African was to occupy space in like Nigerian politics, obviously that wouldn't make sense for a Nigerian public. Now, as for Tyla occupying space in the American public, America is a melting hub. America is supposed to welcome different cultures and different types of people. It's not a space just for one culture or for one type of Black people. So in America, you have to be understanding of different cultures. And Black American culture is not even the main culture to assimilate into in American culture. It's actually white American culture. So when it comes to Tyla saying she is colored and saying that she is colored from her country, and by the definition of that, you have to respect that. Just like how you have to respect the different cultures that you have to respect in America. You respect Asians, you respect Hispanics. People do it poorly, but that's the purpose of America. It's supposed to be a melting hub. So if you expect people to respect Black Americans and Black American culture, you also have to respect their culture. And that's that. Now, if you go to Nigeria, obviously, you are coming into a culture that's already established for one people. It's not a melting hub. It's just for Nigerians. So you're going to have to respect Nigerian culture and assimilate to that. And it goes like that for the rest of the world. But America is the one country where it's meant to be a melting hub of cultures. It's not just for one primary culture. Simple.
Okay,
ma'am,
everybody can. I knew everybody was going to try to speak. I knew everybody wanted to say that.
Hey, let me step down.
Hold on, everybody, hold on. Now ma'am, and I got something to say about it, but I'm gonna let him ask you the question. I'm gonna let him address your answer, and then we're gonna kind of go on. I mean, it's skipping a lot, but this is interesting. Now I'm invested now. Okay.
I had a couple other things I wanted to say.
Hold on. Nobody asked a question. She answered it. Now, nobody, do you have a response to what she had to say?
Did she say our culture is not the dominant culture? Is that what she said?
Yes, she did. She did, nephew.
That's funny,
right?
That's funny because again, the Tyla, her biggest inspirations are Black American artists. She said it verbatim several times. So you can keep saying that's not the dominant culture, but clearly we've seen that reflected in how your artists build. Burner Boy, your fellow Niger boy, he said he didn't want to perform African music. His entire shtick is Black American-esque Afrobeat music. Look at the samples he uses. Like, what are we talking about?
That's not true.
Okay, cool. You're gonna have a coach session.
No, he said that, but his music is not.
No,
like
but if Burna Boy said it, don't put words in Burna Boy's mouth because you're trying to represent something. If he's the one making the music and he said it, then that's what it is. Why are you trying? Y'all be trying to represent through artists that are not trying to represent what y'all trying to represent. And that's the thing. Y'all clashing because y'all want these artists to represent an ideal or a narrative that they're not going for. Okay? They're not. Now, you also hold on, Paris, hold on. BX, did you have something you want to say? BX or ZZ, y'all have something y'all want to say?
I'll make it quick because I'm interested in how ZZ is going to respond. So, ma'am, when you come to America, when you migrate into America, you have to basically assimilate into our culture. We are your strongest allies. We are your strongest voice because your people are too scared to do anything here because of fear of being deported. Now, in Nigeria, is that your cultural dress? Because you're standing there in our aesthetics. Like that profile picture is our aesthetics, ma'am.
Are you
Right, so
talking to
let's
me?
not be this. Yes, I'm talking to you. Let's
My
not be
profile picture
disrespect.
is
One
what
moment.
aesthetic?
Yeah, it's not Nigerian.
What do you mean?
It's
What
not
does
a
Nigerian look
Nigerian
like?
aesthetic.
What does Nigerian look like?
Nigerian dress. We know what Nigerian dresses look
We
like. So
know
let's
what
not do that.
Nigerian dresses look like. We
Okay,
know a
so
lot of things. Hold on, ma'am, because I ain't finished. I listened to you go. I listened to you say America's supposed to be a melting pot and Black Americans aren't the dominant Black people here or the culture. Ma'am, we push the culture. Our social justice reform movements, that's our culture too. That's why we got boycotts going on and we enact change here. What do Africans do? Like, why would we want to kowtow to an African? Like y'all are just so disrespectful in the land that our ancestors built. Meanwhile, you're standing there in our aesthetics, the way we wear our makeup, the way we dress. You're not over there in Nigeria dressing like that. Like, so let's not be disrespectful because you don't like that. We are one of your African artists doesn't resonate with us.
first of
That
all,
was so diminishing to our culture and to our history on this land. Y'all didn't build nothing here.
no one disrespected you. Let's mind you, I came into this
It's
chat.
disrespectful.
Somebody
It was
just pronouncing my
disrespectful,
name.
man,
I
and
came
I'm
into
telling
this
you.
What you
chat.
said was
Wait,
very disrespectful.
wait. Okay, so I'm disrespectful, but this man that can't say my name is not disrespectful. Let's clear
And
that.
was he not? Did we not
No,
address
no,
the fact that he said needed to say your name properly? That
because
was
that was
addressed
disrespectful, right?
before you went. Before you even went, we said, okay, your name is Shay, and that's what you're going to be referred to as. That was addressed. Let's not deflect. All right, let's not do that.
No, because she's saying I came in here disrespectful, and I'm saying I
Okay,
came in here
first off,
to
ma'am, you
disrespect.
were saying,
So I
hold
was
Calm
on.
responding
with
to
We're
that.
all
disrespect.
Simple.
adults here. We're all adults.
Say that to
You were
him.
saying things. I did.
No,
I
because
did
I
say
think you're
something to him, but
disrespectful.
now I'm saying something to you. You were saying things in the chat room before you came up.
Yes.
I saw it, and then I still let you up. He
Yes.
asked you a question, and BX said that what you said in response was disrespectful and dismissive of our culture and our cultural impact here. All right.
Okay. I do want to say something.
Now
I
you
did
want to
not mean
deflect to
to diminish
nobody. Now
African
before we go,
American cultural past.
hold on, ma'am, because I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go. Before we go, Zizi, do you have anything you want to say about what she said?
Yeah. A couple things. I'm gonna keep it short too. Number one, the name thing was just childish as hell. He said the first part of your name, it should have been that deep. That wasn't really disrespectful. Number two, I looked at your page and nothing on your page is distinctive that you're from Nigeria or that you're Nigerian. You look like a Black American. The aesthetic on your page, just like your profile picture, is Black American. So for you to come over here, and I know that you know that Black American culture is the foundation of this country, for you to come over here or come up here and say something like it's supposed to be a melting pot, we have to accept other people's culture, it's highly entitled. Okay, you don't have the right to come to our land to tell us what we should accept, what the standards of the country we built should be. We don't go to Nigeria and say, "Oh yeah, well you got to accept our culture because we coming over." No, we're not coming over there and telling y'all what to do. Y'all need to, if you want to tell somebody what they want to do with their culture or how they should respect who or what should be done, go back to your homeland and do that. Do not come here telling us what our country is supposed to be, and we are the ones. Our ancestors are the ones that spilled blood to build it. It's very. Excuse me, sir. It's very simple. It's very simple.
Okay.
So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, but that's about it. If you're
I
gonna speak
love
on
that
this,
shirt,
look
Zizi.
like yourself, look like your people, because I can't tell where you're from what your page look like.
Okay, a few things I want to say to
Hold
that.
on. I just gotta say, isn't ZZ's shirt amazing? Don't
It
you
is.
just love the shirt?
Yeah.
Mommy, 1
Okay.
second.
Is that from your website, Afro?
Yeah.
It is.
Yep.
I'm gonna post Afro Elite's website and y'all go over there. He has some really cool merch, FBA merch, foundational Black Americans, because we're the foundation here, not those other people.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna let you respond to her, and then I want to say something, and then we're gonna start. Then we're gonna move on to the other speakers.
A few things that I wanted to say. So first of all, you said that I don't look Nigerian. I feel like this comment is rooted in ignorance because what does Nigerian look like to you?
What does your
Nigeria?
cultural garbs look like? So let's not do the dumb shit. Let's not do the dumb back and forth. You know what you're good. You know if I look up Nigeria, on Google what cultural garbs are they going to be wearing. It's not going to look like this shirt. It's not going to look like what Afro got on. It's not going to look like what we wear here. It's not going to look like what you got on that profile.
Well, I live in America.
So you know what Nigerians look like.
I am Nigerian.
You look like a Nigerian in America. It's a melting pot.
I am Nigerian.
So why are you not looking like your homeland?
I live in America. So obviously I'm going to be wearing American clothing.
No, not obviously.
Nigeria.
You can wear your homeland clothing.
No. It's not no obvious. It's not no obvious. Nobody is making you wear American clothing. You can wear Nigerian clothing every single day in America, and nobody can say anything about it.
I can,
so
and I do.
Well, no, I live in America, but in all of your videos, you're not wearing any Nigerian garb. You can wear Nigerian garbs every single day, and there are some people who are Nigerian who are very like conservatives who do. So we're not going to do the thing, well, I live in America, so I have to wear this. No, you don't. No, you don't. You choose to wear that. That's what you choose to wear.
If it's a melting pot, where's your part of the pot?
Can I finish my sentence?
Okay, yeah,
only y'all are allowed to interrupt me, but not the other way around.
Go ahead.
Can I finish my sentence? I live in America. I'm going to assimilate to American culture. The clothes that I'm wearing, that is American culture. I did not.
American culture? Do you mean black American culture?
Let me finish. Because
do you mean black American culture? I just want clarification.
Let me finish.
You said white American.
Finish. Are you gonna let me finish?
You're white. Your page. You don't look like you're trying to look like a white American on your page. You
okay,
look like
I'm not responding to her anymore. I'm not responding to her anymore. Anyways, so the reason I actually requested to join this live was when I came into the live, you said something. You said that people don't really listen to Afrobeats in reference to Tyla, or that Afrobeats doesn't get as much plays. I do want to say that's not true at all. Afrobeats has much more plays than African American music, just for the pure fact that Africa is a continent.
Oh, you a liar.
Listen, let me finish. Let me finish.
Let's let her go. Okay. The Afrobeats is, it's the next big thing. Keep going.
Right. So Afrobeats, if you look it up, has much more listens than African American music, for the pure fact that Afrobeats is African genre. Africa is a continent. There's more than 50 countries in Africa that listen to Afrobeats. African American music, it's own that's all African Americans are what I think 15% of the population in America. There is much less of y'all than there is of us. So obviously there's more.
I have a mic punch.
Wait, I just want to make my point and I'll stop.
There is more Africans because that's what I was talking about.
There is more Africans listening to Afrobeats. But with that being said, Tyla's not Afrobeats. Tyla's Amapiano. That's a different genre in Africa. She's not Afrobeats.
But she won an award for Afrobeats.
Yeah,
so
that was
she misrepresented her music genre. We're just addressing it. Okay.
Yeah, that was a topic in African communities as well, that she is not even Afrobeats. That's ignorance, because they group in every African artist as Afrobeats. She's on my piano.
What we're talking about is America. And America has the biggest sense of the music genre and the media. America's entertainment. We're the entertainment hub of the world, okay? That's why you have different artists that want to come over here and do collabs and make music in America, okay? So that's why she came over here. So everybody's trying to make it seem like, well, Afrobeat's great in Africa. Okay, well, she is not in Africa. She is in America, all right? And you have a whole bunch of other people who make Afrobeats in America. I'm saying in America, it ain't really landed like that, okay? And it's not really sticking the landing like a lot of people thought it would, and a lot of people said it would in America. Wherever, if it's great in China or if it's great in Africa, then all the power to them. But in America, it's not landing like that. But now hold on. What I'm saying is that we're saying this because we welcome certain things, and now we're starting to see that a lot of the fans are acting some type of way about it. All right. Now, when you talked about America being a melting pot, and America, and you're saying it as if we are all peers in this. No, we're not peers, and we got to establish this, because if I were to go to Nigeria, I cannot be all like, well, we're all black, so we're all peers. No, we're not all peers in this. That's your nation. That's your land. You all are the people of that land. I am an immigrant living among the people of that land. You all feel as if you guys are like some type of peers with the people who built the land. You're not that. We built the country, and we are the majority of people here. This is not no all melting pot that you said that we have to accept. We don't got to accept the damn thing. We are not obligated to accept anybody. And that's the problem with a bunch of immigrants who come over here feeling a sense of entitlement that we're obligated to accept the fact that y'all do what y'all want to do. And then you said, and this is what you said, ma'am, that if we was to go to Nigeria, we can't expect to just do what we want to do. We got to conform to the Nigerian custom and the Nigerian way of life. But when y'all come over here, we got to accept that y'all going to do what y'all want to do. All right. And as the other speaker said, you coming in, walking in the house with your shoes on, talking about, well, I can do it at home, so I can do it here. And clearly that's not working out. It's not going to work out that way. Y'all got too much dip on y'all chip and y'all think y'all bigger than the program, and you're not. You guys are not bigger than the program. And every time y'all try, it shows that you guys have some type of rivalry and entitlement, and you guys want to have a thing where you guys feel like your voice is more represented, and it's just not going to work. Either you're going to listen to what the culture has to say, or you're not going to make it. And it's that simple. That's it. That's all. We ain't going to be doing all of that. Well, we feel obligated. We do not feel obligated to support. Okay. If I was to, and I'm a foundational Black American, if I was to go to LA and use certain slang, there's certain slangs that different cities have. If I was to go to LA and use Chicago slang, and they said, hey, we don't do that over here, we don't say that over here, that's actually kind of offensive. I can't say, well, I'm from Chicago, so that's how we do in Chicago, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Oh, well, you're not in. I had a call. You're not in Chicago. When you go to somebody else's city, state, land, whatever, okay, and the natives of that place tell you, hey, look, this is how we do here. I do not have the right to say, well, I do it differently over home, so you guys got to get used to it. That's colonization, ma'am. That is colonization. And that's what a lot of you guys feel entitled to. A lot of y'all feel entitled to being able to colonize the culture. That's exactly what you just described.
Can
And
I
y'all
have a
don't
We
feel this
cannot
thing
one
where we're
minute?
all, hold
One
on,
minute.
we
y'all don't
cannot
feel this
colonize.
thing where we're all this family because you said we shouldn't feel entitled to do that in Africa.
Okay, so with the whole colonization thing, first of all, can we establish that African Americans' ancestry comes from Africa?
No,
Because I
No,
ma'am,
think
we
we
no,
have to
cannot.
no,
start
we're
off
not
with the
going down
proper.
that road. No, no,
One
no,
minute,
no,
y'all.
Whoa.
One
no, we're
minute. Let
not
me
doing
reset
that.
the
No, we're
energy
not
for a
doing
Oh
that.
wait,
minute.
I'm
We're
confused.
not
One
doing
minute,
that.
y'all.
Wait,
One
are we
minute.
not? Wait,
One
is that
minute.
not?
Olu,
Wait,
1
that's not a
minute.
fact. I'm confused.
You're gonna stay confused. I know why you're confused. You're competing where you can't compare. There's
Mm.
542 people in this room. Get these likes up. Tap the screen, share
Yeah,
the
what's
live,
going
even
on?
put the
Everybody touch
live.
the screen.
Right, right. And even put the live in your stories, okay? Everybody is welcome to speak, but what we won't have is somebody being blatantly disrespectful to our culture and our lineage. And that's why Tyla isn't making it here. That's why Burna Boy went on an apology tour, and we don't have to
Yeah.
keep it to the Africans. That's why Busta Rhymes is tanking and had to cancel his show to get on with Missy Elliott. That's why Fat Joe couldn't perform at the BET Awards. You do not come from foundational Black Americans because we're the loudest, but guess who jumps into action? The freedmen, ADOS, those who identify as just Black Americans, those who identify as just African American, because we understand we built the country through our blood, sweat, and tears, and the Nigerians, since she's Nigeria, is just cosplayers here. Look at her whole profile picture.
Okay,
Let me add this.
I'm
Let
not
me
here
add
for the
this because I do want to
diaspora
get to other
wars, but
people.
I do want to bring
Hold
on
on. No,
a
no, no.
perspective.
Let me add this because I do want to get to other people. You are displaying the same issue, that the same mentality that's messing Tyler up right now. Okay, the fact that you feel like y'all get to come here and y'all get to just do what y'all want to do, and we should conform to how y'all want to do things. That's the same exact thing messing Tyler up right now. Okay, that you shouldn't have to apologize. We should just accept that that's how you do, and we should get over it. No, and what's interesting is that you said if we should conform to anything, it should be to the YT. So y'all have an issue with offending white folk. Okay, y'all come over here and said, well, the only people that we need to make sure we don't bother are white people. But you guys have repeatedly made it clear that y'all don't find it an issue to offend us. Okay, and it's been time after time and year after year after year where we're starting to see a lot of the diaspora and the tethers in specific are coming over here saying it doesn't matter what y'all think. It doesn't matter how y'all feel, and we can do what we want to do. That's what you guys are acting like. That's what she was acting like. That's what you're acting like. And that's why she's not doing that well. Okay? Y'all cannot come over here talking about it doesn't matter if we offend y'all. Y'all need to get over it. Because now she's on the verge of being a has-been in this country. All right?
Can I say what I want to say, please?
I know, y'all. It's a cue or
Ma'am,
something,
hold on.
please.
There's
That's
a
it.
line.
I was here.
There's a line of people. Okay? So, yeah, we're done with that. Yeah, we're done with that. You see? This is exactly our and this is why when I said in the beginning of the live, the issue is kind of bigger than just Tyla as an individual. Okay? The issue is how a lot of them think. A lot of them feel like disrespecting us or offending us, we need to get over it. Okay? It doesn't matter what we think or what we feel. It's a melting pot, and we just need to make room for them. Even though they're articulating that they're not gonna make room for us if we were to go to Africa, we shouldn't feel the same level of entitlement that they should feel. So it's bigger than Tyla. You're starting to see a lot of them are coming out and saying that. Okay, that's what they feel. Okay, I'm glad that you guys are telling the truth now.
And, you know, participating in the erasure of our culture, because for her to come up here and say something like, oh, well, no, she's just trying to assimilate to American culture. We're trying to assimilate to American culture. And if anything, it will be closer to white culture. That doesn't even make sense. White tea culture is white tea supremacy. You could never assimilate to that. Never. American culture is based off foundational Black American culture, period. So even if you wanted to take the Black off of it, if you're going to assimilate to American culture, that's us. You're assimilating to our standards, not to theirs. They're not going to allow you in, buddy. They know who you are. Okay? So yeah, it's just disingenuous, and I think that's a part of erasure of our culture, because you're trying to say that we're trying to erase our major contributions to build American culture, that culture that you're trying to get such close access to, while trying to act like there was no group of people there before you that you need to check in with, or that you need to make sure that you're respectful to while doing so. So yeah, big rigs.
Zizi, so they're bringing up prom dresses, they're bringing up braids. Can you please tell them, without us fighting to wear braids or wear our natural hair, that they wouldn't be accepted here?
Are they trying to say that we're like trying to tether to them by wearing braids and prom dresses?
Yes. But, they said don't do this, don't do that. Can you tell them don't use our civil rights, don't use modern day toilets, don't turn on your light bulbs, don't hang a curtain rod, don't iron your clothes on the ironing board, and God forbid if you need a gas mask, don't ever use that either. Don't eat peanut butter. And I know Africans like to use a lot of peanut butter. Don't they got peanut butter soup or some mess? So, I mean, if we're going to do that, don't use it, don't use it, don't use it, don't wear. See, when Black Americans do something, we pay homage, right? There are videos on YouTube of us giving credit to the technique, because y'all don't style better than a Black American. That's number one. We always say where we got it from. Y'all come over here and give the culture to the white tea people, skipped over the Native Americans, but we gained citizenship before the natives did. Because we fought for it. And this is my big issue. They don't fight for nothing. Oh, we work hard. You stayed up late to study for a test. Where's the blood, sweat, and tears on this land? So while you over here bothering us, Nigeria has a world of problems over there. And any other country you could think
And
of
I just wanted to add a little fun fact about box braids. They've done the etymological study on box braids, and there's no trace of it in Africa. Based upon, like, again, why would they be doing straight patterns in regards to how we work? We put our hair in, Black Americans put our hair in preparatory ways in terms of us working. It wasn't about this symbolic thing. It was functionality. So again, and even then, corn is not indigenous to Africa. So why would y'all call something that y'all don't see on a regular basis? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I think a lot of people try to use the things like that within our culture, because melanated people around the world have similarities to some degree or to some extent in different areas. So they try to use some of those similarities to be like, oh, well, look what y'all copied off of us. They do that with some of our dances. They try to do that with hip hop. So that's not surprising. But prom dresses and damn hair and braids, like, get the hell out of here. We was not looking to no damn Africans or Caribbeans for inspo to do our hair to wear our dresses. We don't even do it the same. Let's just, it's not the same. So especially when we talk about prom dresses, what prom dresses damn near wet. Prom for us, that's definitely not the same. Our dresses, we be putting that shit on.
When it comes to prom, do y'all not think any? This is y'all like really believing in this delusion. Do y'all not think we was getting prom popping before y'all got here?
I'm like, what? That's our stuff.
Y'all have to ignore
American
before y'all got here. Honestly, do y'all?
Y'all, they know this stuff. They
and
just
you were next, so
troll.
I'm gonna let you go ahead. What? Let me see. Go ahead, ma'am.
People in the chat are trolls when they talk about prom dresses. Black prom has been a big thing in America since prom was invented, right? And the whole family gather around and watch their niece, their nephew go off the prom. We've been doing it big for prom. But I just wanted to say, I find it funny that Olu was up here caping for Tyla when South Africans treat Nigerians like utter garbage. Can we just wake that part up? I don't know why a Nigerian would be up here caping for a South African for any reason at all. And as a matter of fact, the award that Tyla won should have went to Tim's or Arya Starr. Those are artists that both Black Americans like, that Nigerians like, that Caribbeans like, that the whole Black diaspora approve of. I don't know why Tyla even won that Afrobeat award, because to South Africans, they say she doesn't sing Afrobeat. She sings Amapiano house music. So I don't even know why she won that award from the first place. I wanted to say that. I also wanted to say, recently there was a Nigerian young lady in South Africa that was going to win Miss South Africa. And South Africans protested against that Nigerian lady so much that they literally took her out of the race and let a white woman win Miss South Africa. Did y'all forget about this? Quickly to the Nigerians in the chat. So it's funny how they want to tell Black Americans how to gatekeep, how to politic, but these groups do the same exact thing. They do the same exact thing amongst themselves. And I also wanted to say Tyla flopped because she has disgusting fans. I made a video about Tyla last year, just about her energy that was off with Hailey Bailey. And so many South Africans came in my comments calling me cotton pickers. They were calling me white supremacist names. Let's just say that. Okay? And I was like, I just wanted to say to a lot of Tyla fans, y'all are the reason she flopped. Her attitude was already weird, but her fans are absolutely disgusting. And y'all keep saying that Black Americans want to police people, tell people what to do, but Black Americans even do it to their own. Do you guys remember when Lotto had the name Mulatto and Black Americans told her that that was uncomfortable? And what is Lotto named today? It's Lotto, correct? She changed the name because even in Black American culture, it's certain names that people just don't like. It takes them back to racism. It takes them back to slavery times. It takes them back to Jim Crow. So Lotto changed her name. Daniel Caesar came up on this app caping for a white tea lady, and Black Americans packed him up. He's a Black American too. He's canceled. Danny Lay wanted to make a colorism song. Black Americans canceled her too. She's Dominican.
Yeah.
No, it's not just because you're African. If you don't respect the culture and play by their rules, you will get canceled. I don't know why they're so like we've seen this pattern before. If you go against the grain, you're gonna get cut off. And I think a lot of maybe West African artists are starting to notice, or African artists or Caribbean artists are starting to notice that you cannot disrespect Black Americans or tell them how to move within their culture without consequences. And by the way, I'm Black American and half Caribbean. You cannot come in Caribbean culture and tell people what to do and how to do it. They will cancel you and pack you up. So I don't understand why everybody has this entitlement to Black Americans that they can tell Black Americans how to run their culture, what should be okay and not okay within their culture. It's so weird to me. And they only do this to this demographic. Nobody tells Black South Americans what to do, Black West Africans what to do, Black South Africans what to do, Black Caribbeans what to do. But when it comes to Black Americans, everybody feels like they can police your culture. And I just I don't get it. But
Yeah.
hopefully I'm not rambling too long. I'll let you guys continue your conversation.
Yeah. We're gonna have to cycle because there's a lot of people, so we're gonna have to get to people real fast because it's like almost what 20 some people who want to come up. But let me say this. Let me just say this. What the lady before, what she just said, she just articulated the fact that they feel that they don't have to come in and pay homage or show any respect or watch how they move. That's all we were saying is, hey, you going if you come here and you want to make it big, cool, but you're gonna have to kind of watch how you operate. And she's saying that they shouldn't have to do that. They shouldn't have to do that. But we should have to do that when we go over there. All right. So this is a little bit deeper than just her. It's like some type of issue that they have with us in particular. And when it comes to respecting us and our culture in particular, because she wouldn't even go to Africa doing that. Talking, or not Africa, she wouldn't even go to Nigeria talking about, well, she's from South Africa, so Nigerians are going to have to deal with it. She wouldn't go over there and do that. She wouldn't go to Mexico and do that. She wouldn't go to the Caribbean and do that. But she feels some level of entitlement for us to just turn the other cheek and let her do what she wants to do here. And what we're saying is that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. No matter how much you guys feel like you guys are the big stuff, you're not. Okay? And y'all gonna make people not even tolerate anything new. The way you guys are pushing stuff, because what we're seeing is y'all pushing stuff, and there's like a secret motive behind a lot of this stuff. There's a motive behind why y'all defend Tyla so much, and it's not because y'all like her music. There's a secret motive behind that, because there's too much anger and animosity and vitriol behind your defense of Tyla that it can't just be about y'all liking her music. It can't be about that. It cannot be about that. It's got to be a deeper reason, and it's because you guys are seeing this as some type of rivalry, and y'all seeing her as some player in y'all one-sided beef with us, as some type of replacement to us. Y'all trying to prove a point. That's the thing. Let's get to
I think that's one little
Destiny.
thing
Hold
you
on.
can actually drop.
One minute, Destiny. I wanted to say to Lovely Brown, thank you.
I feel like I haven't spoken yet, and so
One
many
minute,
people have
Destiny.
spoken
One
multiple
minute,
times.
Destiny. 1 minute, Destiny. I
You've
just want to say
talked
thank you
before.
to Lovely Brown. She is what we call bi-ethnic, and she was able to admit that there's a difference the way the diaspora treats Black Americans. So I just want to point that out. We're now bi-ethnic speak, and I do have bi-ethnic children that I talk to just to get a feel for what they're feeling about everything that's going on. And I appreciate when they tell the truth instead of coming up here is blaming us, because I've seen that too. So I just want to say thank you, Lovely, for using your voice in this space. I appreciate you.
One little thing you can drop.
Hold on. Listen, because Destiny, I'll let you go ahead, but Destiny has been waiting for a minute, and we got a lot of people.
I just want to say it's mainstream jealousy and it's culture dominance.
Okay, thank you.
Remember these two things. Because Black Americans are very mainstream, and Black Americans have a cultural dominance. And other people just want a part of that. So this is where the jealousy comes in. But y'all can drop me.
Okay. Destiny, go ahead.
So the first thing that I want to say is that Black American culture is by far the standard in this country. It is very imitated, not just by other people in the diaspora, but other ethnic groups too. Other Spanish people, white people. So anyone who says that Black American culture is not the dominant, they don't know what they're talking about. And they're just being ignorant intentionally. Second thing, as me, my parents are Nigerian and I grew up here in the US. So I feel like when I was growing up and learning more about the differences of race, ethnicity, culture, at first I thought I was a Black American because I did not know what the difference was. So that was kind of my background growing up. And I don't want to feed into the diaspora wars, but one thing that I have noticed growing up as a Black woman in the US is that there is a preference for lighter skinned multiracial women. And Tyla definitely fits that group of multiracial women. So when she did not identify as Black, it didn't hit me that hard because she doesn't look Black to me. And I feel like having so many women, especially women who are multiracial or have different ethnic backgrounds, identify as Black, that takes away spaces from actual Black women, from Black women who are one race. Coco Jones, Normani, Chloe Bailey, I feel like they're not getting as much support as they should be getting. And I know people are saying that Tyla flopped because they boycotted Tyla, but where's the support for these women like Coco Jones or Normani or Chloe Bailey? The support isn't there. So I'm just really wanting us to move away from the one drop rule and calling anyone
is light skinned though. Like, let's not
no,
do
yeah,
that.
I agree, but still, she's still not getting the support from her community. And yes, Normani and Coco Jones, they're both dark skinned and they're definitely not getting the support as they should be. Coco Jones is a phenomenal singer. Normani, phenomenal dancer, singer. None of them are getting the support that they're getting. And it's because there's a preference for multiracial women to call themselves Black, and now these women are taking spaces from Black women. And I feel like nobody's talking about that.
Okay.
That's not true.
Hold on.
I feel like it is. Like, come on now. Lotto was able to build a space off of being biracial, and that took her a lot.
Stop, ma'am. When I say hold on, I'm trying to clear the room. Okay, so let's slow down. All right, I'm gonna let you finish landing your point, though. I'm gonna let you finish your point because you have been waiting patiently. I'm gonna let you finish, and then we're gonna have a respectful dialogue. But I'm gonna let you finish your point. Destiny, I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, when we see women like Ice Spice, no offense to me, but Ice Spice isn't that talented, but she was accepted so quickly. She was seen as Black representation so quickly, seen as a Black woman so quickly, and she was able to get to stardom. Meanwhile, all these ambiguous, or whatever the word is, these very clearly Black women, again, like Normani, like Coco Jones, they're not getting that same hype as they should be because there is a preference for women who are multiracial. And I feel like that's part of the reason why people kind of disliked Tyla, because she didn't call herself Black and she wasn't able to be propped up as a Black superstar or a Black representation of women.
Okay,
and I just want it to be to a point where Black women can actually have space in the Black community instead of women from different backgrounds who don't really look Black are now taking Black spaces.
Okay.
Oh God.
I definitely. I'm gonna say this real quick because I definitely feel like this is a woman. I feel like women should really respond to this. Okay, so all I'm gonna say is this: if the average person sees Tyla, they're gonna think Black. Okay.
In America, but in other places they won't see her as Black.
I'm just gonna say this, and then I'm gonna let some of the other women respond to what you had to say. But the average person, people make it seem like Tyla is white passing. Tyla is not no super ambiguous person like that. We have people who are fully Black who look like Tyla. Okay, we're not gonna.
It's not necessarily Black or white. There's other ethnicities that she could fall into. She looks Indian, if you ask me, or South Asian. It's more than just Black and white. She falls into different categories.
Hold on. If Tyla was to go to India, Indians would know, oh, that's a little Negro girl. That's a Black girl over there. She does not look, come on now.
How do you know that though?
Ma'am, because we know what Indians look like.
She does not look like the standard Black woman to me.
Okay.
If we're being honest. She looks mixed, she looks biracial, she looks like she could be something, but Black, I don't know. And I feel like that one drop rule has really had a chokehold.
Wait a minute.
The one drop rule has really had a chokehold.
Everybody can't talk at the same time. Mm-hmm. That's all I got to say about it. Okay. So I just want to give do that. Say what they
I
got.
want to
So
give this. See, wait. I got to say something. This is the problem. You have two Nigerian parents at home. You wasn't raised in a foundational Black American household. We understand what it's like to have family that look like who'd you mention there? That look like Ice Spice, that look like Tyler. We understand this.
my
But
mom is light
hold
skinned
on,
too.
hold on, hold
Africa
on.
has so many
That don't matter.
diverse
You're
We're
still
having a
looks. I'm
dialogue.
Nigerian.
just saying
Hold
that Coco
on,
Jones and
ma'am.
Normani, they're not getting the
You
Ma'am,
space
gotta
that they should
stop.
be
ma'am.
getting.
You
And
have
then
to
here's
stop.
another thing that you come on a platform, you're not even educated enough to know that in 1967, the one drop rule, along with Walter Plecker's Racial Integrity Act, was deemed unconstitutional. At the
But
same time, they
we're still
approved
using
1
it till
minute.
this
I
day.
finished.
There's
I
no
Ma'am,
reason
finished.
to yell.
I
ma'am,
finished.
It's
okay,
the
we're gonna
I
truth.
have to,
finished.
ma'am, if you say something one more time, we will remove you because we let you get your point
Let's
across,
let's
and
be
now we're
real.
responding to what you have to say, and you keep coming off the mic. Stop doing that.
No, they're yelling at me and calling
And
me
No,
the
a Tyler.
she's
fact,
That's
no,
talking.
this,
Let
disrespectful.
her
I'm done.
respond to what
Goodbye.
she.
I said my
passionate.
Ma'am,
point, and
I'm
that's all
stop.
I needed to
passionate.
say.
Stop it.
See that another cultural difference. Another cultural difference.
Now she
And you
went
know
by
what's so
herself.
funny?
Okay, you come on now. We were trying to let her. We were trying to respond to what she has to say. Okay, and every time somebody says something, she kept talking and talking and talking, and we let her go. How are we going to have a dialogue if every time somebody gives a damn response to what you have to say, you're saying, "Oh no, I just meant that." I just let people say what they got to say. What the hell are we doing? Okay,
And
yes,
Ice Spice
please.
had a problem with a Nigerian anyway. That's a whole different demographic. Ice Spice, we primarily view her as untalented too, especially coming from the Bronx. She can't freestyle. Like she doesn't sound good. These are conversations that we have amongst ourselves. You're just on the outside looking in. And so therefore, what you're saying, just because you're Black in America, you was raised by Nigerian parents, so you don't understand the dynamics of certain things or the history of it, right? Because as a journalist, I've been writing about colorism for years, right? I've been interviewing people that's been affected by it. We understand the dynamics of the music industry, and we understand the brown paper bag test and stuff like that. But sometimes we got to admit that some people aren't talented or their label fails them too. Because there's some artists today that I just ain't never heard of until the younger generation bring it up because they're more in tune with it. And then the standards, Coco Jones, I believe, could sing. Jasmine Sullivan. I like Ari Lennox personally. But you got to understand, ma'am, I think you enter in a conversation trying to use talking points that's really not for your demographic because you're an outsider. And then to bring up the one drop rule, that was crazy to me. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. I'll land there.
Yeah, well,
You know,
she
when I
kind
came
of.
off my mic, Afro, it was to say nobody because he works for the industry wanted to come up and I was going to switch places. But then she brought up the one drop rule and it went left for me.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted to say BX, what you just said, I'm gonna say this real quick. I'm gonna be quiet. She tried to project her own dark skin hurt into the whole conversation and then tried to say Black women don't look like Tyla when there's clearly Black American women who look like Tyla. That's not the problem. The problem is we saw an African trying to pretend to be like us and we called it out. Like I'm just confused as to why she thought we was confused. And again, Coco Jones and Normani are not pushed by their labels because the labels likes to play with dark skinned women. But that's not to say we have women who are brown skinned and dark skinned who are successful. Erica Badu, Lauryn Hill. Like, what are we talking about? We've had plenty of women in terms of multitude of colorations or skin tones who have been famous. So, sweetheart, go to therapy. Don't bring that up here. I'll land my
Yeah, I
plane.
was gonna say that. I
Hold on,
don't
hold
Wait,
on.
think.
hold up.
Let
Let me
Lisa
get
go
it.
ahead real
But
fast.
17 people go before I get to get this off. Um, at first, when she was saying she didn't look Black, I thought she meant like she didn't look Black. But I caught on to the fact she was saying she meant she didn't look Black American, which is absolutely ridiculous. She looked Black as far as a race, but she could be passing as well, even for Black American, because BX was just talking about, there is a plethora of shades and distinctions between our specific ethnic group of how we can look. So I think that was a little ridiculous. She doesn't look Indian at all to me, to be honest. But I do think that is something that comes a lot from non-FBA. I don't know what it is. I gotta look more into that because it's something I've noticed a lot. Particularly on these lives, is that these non-FBA women, the women in particular, will come up here and use colorism as, like, I don't know what their thing is with colorism, but that's like their number one talking point. for some reason. And I think a part of that, at least, is that the way that they deal with colorism over there is not the same as the way we have it over here. We don't have the caste systems. We're not bleaching our skin. So the extremities that they go to over there is a little bit different. And how they see. That's why I think even when she's seen Tyla, her being that shade, it's like, oh, well, she can't be black. And it's like, to a regular foundational Black American, it's like, yeah, she looks. When I seen her before I even heard the song, well, I think I heard the song first, but when I seen her, I was like, yeah, she's black. Then the whole color thing happened, and that's when I was like, okay, well, she's an uppity African. That's what she want to be, but that's what she is. But yeah, I mean, I get what she's saying as far as dark skinned sisters being pushed less. That's for sure. But even a part of that is because it's foundational Black Americans. Because Chloe Bailey, like you said, she's light skinned, but I mean, she's of a lighter tone. She's maybe like light brown, but she's also FBA. So a lot of her issues coming from being pushed in the industry is because she's FBA, you know, and they don't want another Beyonce. That's we were just talking about that on one of our other lives. So how they're trying to suppress another Beyonce, and Chloe and Halle was supposed to be runner-ups for that position. So yeah, there's a lot of layers to that, but I don't know if she was really going in the right direction for that. And shout out to Coco Jones. I liked her last album.
Yeah, and I was about to say this, and I'm gonna let the room continue, or whatever the case is. When she brought up Coco Jones, now if you bring up Normani, I felt like there were some people who maybe just don't resonate with her music, but I think that from what I know, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that Coco Jones is doing pretty good for herself.
Yeah, I'm like, she just dropped. I liked her.
I'm not, she did, yeah.
She's still doing. I saw she's about to make another season of the Bel Air TV show, and then she's still doing her thing with the music. So for it to make it seem like she's not getting no love or nothing like that, I'm all like, okay,
and she just won a Grammy. I think she just won a Grammy or BET award, literally. So I'm like, I mean, I don't know what her album sales were compared to Tyla. It was probably better.
ZZ, to your point, Charlamagne, she was on the Breakfast Club, and Charlamagne told her, I've been reaching out to your label, and they've been snubbing you. They haven't sent none of your music. They haven't sent none of your promo.
Wow.
Again, this is to your point about they don't want there to be another clarified aspect, because R&B, I don't know if y'all know, it's extremely expensive to produce. And when R&B artists do make sales, they don't want to pay them back that money, or even their backing band. So that is largely the problem. There's a disconnect with, we're going to put the money behind the Tylas and the Ice Spices, but not the Coco Jones and Normani's. And Normani, I'm going to be quiet after this. Normani's situation is a little bit difficult because both her parents unalived, and I think like almost 12-month span. So her label put her on the back burner as she was dealing with that. And then one of those things that happen in music is when the label feels like you're not in it, they will put you on the back burner, and they don't care how much money they're wasting. So if it's a dark-skinned woman who can sing, and they'll be like, we could just send your talents to a lighter or a white tea woman, they'll do that. So Normani, she's talented. She just doesn't get pushed because, remember, she's also from a music group, Fifth Harmony. They're pushing Camila Cabello, not her. I'll land my plane.
Yeah, I remember seeing her from that. And then the narrative of, the narrative that Tyla, she's getting this push or whatever the case is because people just everybody prefers this ambiguous looking person or whatever the case is. Like I said before, she doesn't really look to me that ambiguous. If you can say that she looks mixed with something, I can believe that. But if you say if somebody was to say there's no black in Tyla at all, people would scratch their head like, I don't think so. People clearly see the black in her, so it's not all it is. People making this point like, she doesn't look black at all. Like, come on, let's not do that. Come on now.
She could have definitely tethered. Honestly, she probably could have got away with tethering for a little while if she wanted to. If she wanted to confuse us on what her background was. She don't look like she's not black. Let me just say that. So yeah, I don't know where the hell she got that from. That's weird.
Okay, let's get you because we still got a lot of people. We got y'all tap the screen. We're not even at 100K likes. What are we doing? We got 500 people in here. Everybody got to tap the screen. Let's everybody tap the screen real fast. Let's get to Paris. I know, and I appreciate y'all patience. We're gonna get to y'all. Let's get to Paris.
Well, I appreciate y'all letting me speak. My name is Damon. I'm from New Orleans. I'm in Dallas right now, but I just wanted to talk about what Chad mentioned about.
Where's your ethnic background from?
I'm Black American.
Okay.
My family's been in New Orleans for like a long time.
Oh, all right. Shout out to New Orleans. All right.
So, like, to say that, There's not black girls that look like Tyla. She's a clown. I grew up. I grew up with a lot of girls that look like Tyla in New Orleans, so that's not even a question. But my other thing that bothered me was when Shay said that like the black community, the black American community didn't have any influence. Is crazy because I've been blessed enough to travel the world. I've been to 6 African countries. I've been to South Africa 3 times. So I'm very familiar with South Africa, Johannesburg, and Cape Town, to the point that I could tell you for sure that we definitely influenced everybody in the world. So much to the point that when I'm in clubs in Johannesburg, they're playing R&B music mostly. And a lot of people don't realize that. They're playing like Belle Biv DeVoe. They're playing like all the old school joints. There was even one point where they were playing amazing Frankie Beverly. So like for me, I think like American culture influences everybody. When I went to Tokyo, there's a club there called Harlem. When I went to Brazil in Rio in the favelas, there are people that's doing line dances now. The Brazilians didn't come up with that. So like, black looks different everywhere you go. And so I just think that we are the standard. We define what cool is, so like they just want us to validate them, so to speak. And most people do because black people, we define what cool is and we validate what it is. It doesn't matter where we go. So like I've lived in Europe for a little while. I've traveled a couple places, so I actually can speak about it. I lived in Paris for almost 3 years, so black people are everywhere. And it's unfortunate that Shay got up here and said that because she doesn't have a clue. She doesn't have the knowledge to actually say something like that. And in terms of Tyla, I think, you hit it right on the nail with her afro when you said like she has that arrogance about her, because from my experience being in South Africa, I get it. It happened like 20, 25 years ago when apartheid stopped. But at the same time, a lot of those people still feel that way. And also, like you said, the colored people felt like they were better than the black people, and they still do to some extent. And so she's bringing that same energy that most of the coloreds feel like they're more superior than black people. They're better than the Zulus. They're better than the Xhosas. And, that's what's rubbing us wrong. We see that, you're bringing that arrogance with you of an average South African person, over to America. And, like we just don't play that. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand, because Africans, Americans, we do speak up. And I have a problem with that with most people in Africa. They're very passive when it comes to certain things. They don't stand up for themselves.
So,
And
okay, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you
I love South Africa. So like, South Africa, I'll tell anybody, I'll be the first to admit, South Africa is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in the world. But like, unfortunately, people like Shay is giving Africans a bad name. People like Tyla are giving Africans a bad name. And just to touch bases on, Nigerians, I'm not hating or anything, but you know what? They need to worry about a lot of things that's going on with them. Why people from Ghana want them gone. Nobody in the continent likes them. Nobody. And that's all. They're not Egypt, Kenya, Tanzania, Morocco. Like nobody likes them at all. And so you gotta wonder to yourself, like, it's the same kind of like personality, the ego that's driving, this conversation. And, it sucks, but, she didn't have the proper media training either, so it's her fault. So now she gotta deal with it. That's all I got to say.
Wait, I have a question.
Hold on.
Paris.
I gotta let Paris. Appreciate you, brother. I'm gonna let you go. I gotta cycle certain people out. I'm gonna say this. I remember because I was looking up some videos last night. I remember when she had some type of song lyric or something.
Don't she said
Where
we
she
don't need
said
no
something.
reparations,
No,
boy,
not
boy.
the reparations thing. It was another thing where she was all like, "They're not used to a pretty girl from Joesburg" or
Oh
Oh
something.
yeah,
yeah.
they
She
ain't never
said
seen a
something
pretty
Speak
girl
like,
on
from
it. I
Joburg. Yeah.
wanted to speak on
I
it.
forgot about that when I talked about it. Then I saw a video. I'm all like, okay, so all of these things add up. So now it's all like, hold on, dude. Tyler, what do you really think right now? That's what a lot of people are starting to question, because it's not this situation with the colored, with the they're not used to a pretty girl from Joesburg, with the handing off your trophy, with the uppity. All of these things are adding up, and all of these things reflect a character that people don't like. That's just the truth. That's the truth of the situation.
Hmm.
Uh, Let me see. Yeah, go ahead. You were next. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I just want to say thank you guys for bringing me up. I know there's a lot of people on here. First, I would like to say that everybody is entitled to their own opinion completely. So, with my opinion, like I was quiet whenever everybody was talking, even though if I disagree with some people, what people say, I'm not here to change your mind on your opinion. It's an opinion, it's not that serious to me. The second thing I would like to say is that I can understand somebody coming in and disrespecting somebody's culture and feeling the type of way about it. But I can also understand how maybe some people are taking minuscule things and making it a bigger problem than what it is. And when I say minuscule things, I'll just say about one thing in general. What I would say is minuscule is the whole colored thing. Only because, as we know, people from all around the world are completely different. You know, we don't know every single ethnicity, we don't know every single culture, we don't know every single anything, right? And with that being said, instead of, I want to say whenever she did say colored, people were trying to educate her, right? I haven't heard it directly from her mouth being very slightful and disrespectful towards Black Americans. I've never heard her say anything like that is degrading y'all or in
You
any
said,
amount
"Yo,
of
where are
way.
you from?
Yeah, when I say y'all, I'm talking about the panel. Like as in the
Where are you
people.
from though? Where are you from though?
I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Where's your lineage from?"
They're from Dallas and half is from Nigeria. Thank you.
Okay, okay.
Um, so whenever I say that, right, whenever I say y'all, it's people in the panel, that's the people that
This
are
all
mostly
right.
talking, right?
All right.
So I would say that I didn't take that offensive when she said colored. It is what it is to me. If you feel like you're colored, you are colored. I'm not gonna tell somebody what they're not, as long as you're not saying disrespectful words towards my race. You get me?
You know,
I mean, even if you are words like sticks and stones, like it's literally words
now let
matter.
me tell you something, because I'm seeing this from a lot of people who are like what maybe first generation something immigrants. My great grandmother was born in the early 1900s in Mississippi. Okay, when she had a child, my grandmother moved up to Chicago. Okay, the Great Migration, all that. Okay, 1900s or whatever. The family moved up to Chicago. Now, eventually, my great grandmother got sick and she lived with us. She was on hospice, and we had a bed set up for her in the living room and stuff like that. And we would talk when she had the ability to talk, and I would talk to her about how she grew up, and we would talk about her stories growing up during Jim Crow, and she would talk about how her life was like during Jim Crow. Okay, so when you have family who lived through that stuff, it hits very differently from people who just immigrate here and have no experience of that. Your family did not have to go through Jim Crow. So what is offensive to us is not going to be offensive to you guys. So when you're coming over here and saying certain things are quote unquote minuscule and things are not that big of a deal, to somebody whose family actually had to go through Jim Crow, it's a very big deal. And you guys do not have the ability to come over to somebody else's land and tell people what is a big deal or not based off of what is offensive to you. You can't do that. All right.
I
And
think
my
that's
thing
why
is, if it was, hold on, if it was minuscule, why didn't she just apologize and clear that up and say she didn't mean no disrespect?
Exactly.
What if it was minuscule? Why did she stand on it so hard?
one.
And it's
Okay,
not just
so
that either. But why? Why did she do that? If it was
well,
so minuscule, because it's like
okay.
when it comes to us as Black Americans being offended, you all tell us it's not that big of a deal. You never tell the offender that they were wrong. Why is it always us that you guys are trying to police in our response to us being offended, telling us, well, it's not that big of a deal because you don't feel like it's offensive?
So I actually said verbatim, I don't feel like it's a big deal. And I also said in the beginning that you guys, everybody's opinion on here
Okay.
is their opinion, and I'm not trying to discredit how you feel or what you deem disrespectful. So not in any way in my words that I say that literally that what you said that you shouldn't feel that way. I never said that. If somebody else came up here and said that,
Okay,
right, then they
ma'am.
did.
But the thing
But
is, ma'am,
the only problem I have is whenever people like are saying the words like we allowed, we let, we did this, we I'm sorry to say, like I could step out here, go downstairs, go to the nobody's allowing me to do anything. Nobody's letting me do anything. Like especially not like strangers that literally know like we don't
no,
know each
well,
other.
yeah, the
Tyler
strangers
doesn't
are,
know
and here's
you.
the lack
Nobody
of
knows each other.
appreciation, ma'am, because what you're doing is you're showing a lack of appreciation or concern for our history. Because if it wasn't for our history and the sacrifice of people who were not your people, your ancestors didn't sacrifice for you to come over here. Our ancestors sacrificed for you to come over here. You are
Thank
not
you.
allowed to, at a certain point in this country, which was not that long ago, go anywhere you choose. There were certain buildings that you literally, because you're Black, could not walk in.
I am
And that
aware.
was not long ago. Okay. And there was fighting and sacrificing to get that dismantled. And then
I
you
am
all
aware.
came over here. So for you to say, well,
I thought
nobody's
you said she was
allowing me to
half.
do something, that's actually the opposite of the truth.
Did you say that she was? Did she say that she was half FBA?
No,
Yeah, I
I
think
never,
she,
I never, FBA never came out of my mouth.
okay, where you said you're Nigerian, right? Are both your parents Nigerian?
I said one of my parents from Dallas, Texas, the other one's
Well,
Nigerian. Thank
what
you.
what is the other parent's lineage? Because
I
Dallas is not a lineage.
literally just said it.
Dallas is not a lineage.
Oh, I
Lineage.
thought you meant my mom. Never mind.
What?
Okay.
I thought you were
What
talking about my
is
mom.
okay? No, you didn't. All right, we're
Okay,
not
that's
doing
fine.
that. We're not doing that.
She's a teller.
Okay.
I
I
knew it. I
thought
can
you
tell by the
meant
wig,
what?
child. I can tell
I
by the
thought you were
wig that
talking
she was
about
a
the
teller
baby
when she
that
came
was
back.
Ma'am, you
from
gotta hold on,
Nigeria.
hold on, hold
So,
on,
From
so
hold on,
now
hold
we're
Nigeria
on.
gonna move on because right
Yeah,
speaking
now
you
you're
gotta
into
speak
trying
up.
to
It sounds like you're
hide.
that
mumbling, by the way.
And
with
this is
the
something that we're noticing too. They'll admit that one of their parents is a foreigner, and then they'll be very vague about where the other parent came from.
Right.
Where's is your other parent a descendant of U.S. chattel slavery
yes,
in America?
yes.
Okay, why it wasn't that hard for you to say that?
Because whenever you say where's your other, you didn't necessarily say which parent. Whenever somebody says they're Nigerian, that's just full stop, right? Like I said, my mom's Nigerian, cool. But if I speak to another Nigerian, we could be like, okay, but from where? Like, can you go deeper?
Okay,
That's what I thought you meant.
we're going down the rabbit hole.
Go
All right,
ahead.
yeah, all right.
She's babbling.
But
Cut the babbling.
No, it's just the
now that
truth.
I said what I
Just don't
just
like to
said,
hear
now
it.
that I said what I just said in response to what you just said, now we're gonna move on. Okay, we're gonna move on with the conversation. We heard what you had to say. All right, that you feel like it was minuscule, and we're saying that it's not. Okay.
I'm just also saying that there's nobody that's letting anybody do anything like the
No, and
Oh,
the thing is that that's not true either. I just educated you. That's not true either.
it is very true.
No, ma'am, it's not.
So how
And the
are
thing
you
is that there
yourself,
are still,
Afro
ma'am,
Elite? How are you?
ma'am,
Stop
and there
Look,
are
mumbling.
still,
I
and
don't know
there
why
is
the
I
fuck
still
you
just
say
Let
that.
not
somebody
a
do
lack
allow.
something
of
right now, except
entitlement
for letting me talk whenever
and
you
the
mute me.
refusal. And see, this is y'all showing the same
I
issue
wanted to
Tyler's
show her.
showing. The lack of y'all have this refusal because of y'all ego to show any appreciation for anything at all. I don't. Y'all got a serious ego issue. Y'all don't show any appreciation for anything. All right, because I just told you you wouldn't even be able to go to the mall. You like, yeah, I can go to the mall. Nobody's letting me, ma'am. If people didn't fight for your right to go to the mall, your black ass wouldn't be going to the mall. Okay.
You.
Yeah,
So
just
they're
like
letting.
yeah,
So they're
and I
letting
will
you
say
speak.
that.
Yummy, that
I
So
don't
they're
have
doesn't.
an
letting
issue
you
saying
speak.
that though. I don't have an
Gotcha.
issue saying that because I know that people had to sacrifice. My lineage had to sacrifice. I will give them credit for that. You're the one who's acting like they don't deserve that credit.
No,
You're
I
the one
never
who's
said
acting
nobody
like there was
deserved any
not a
credit. I
group of
said
people,
whenever
an
people are
ethnic
saying
group of
let
people
with
who had
them,
to
so we
sacrifice.
Right,
let them
hold
And
on,
lead.
there's
hold
So
still
on,
you
okay,
just
sis,
letting
talking
you're not
everything
China.
gonna
happen.
quiet.
Hold
You're
on,
gonna leave.
China.
There's still a
Um,
group of people who are still advocating against discrimination that goes on today. If y'all thought racism was over, it's not. All right. And there's still people who are fighting against current discrimination for your ass to benefit today. While you talking about nobody's allowing me or letting me do anything.
right, and Afro, you just sat up here and you said that who was it? Your great grandmother was integral part of civil rights, and she came and she told you the experiences. Y'all don't sit around our elders. You know, you didn't get word from your ancestors like we did on this land.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say nobody is letting you or allowing you to do anything, America didn't even allow y'all in here in the numbers that y'all are now. Our civil rights movement greatly impacted easing the restriction on black immigration. They did not want y'all African tails over here, man. So when we sit here and say our elders told us this, our word came from our ancestors for that, that's what we mean. Just like I can't go to Nigeria, even though y'all try to tell me my people come from Nigeria or was captured over there, because let's not forget, Nigerians are coming out talking about how their ancestors were slave traders and asking us not to judge them. And I'm starting to think a lot of them that's showing up on these panels have that same mindset of the slave traders, but that's neither here nor there. It's a new day. And we're telling you what is acceptable and what's not, or you're going to be canceled. Like Tyler, like Busta Rhymes, because let's not leave the Caribbean out. There are consequences, okay, for your actions. And we're telling you your problem is the way you're thinking, talking about we don't allow or you're allowed to do whatever you. No, you're not, ma'am. No, you're not. And that's why there's a boycott going on, because then it's easier to take our money back from you, because who's supporting them braiding shops? Like y'all too disrespectful. They really are. I'm sorry, Africa. Go ahead.
No, I mean, you're talking about people allowing. There's still people fighting and advocating for there not to be racism today. That stuff is still going on today. While y'all come over here, and this is the problem. Too many of you guys have expressed the fact that y'all feel like y'all don't owe any appreciation. Nobody is asking y'all to sit up there and kiss nobody's feet, but y'all are literally coming to somebody else's victory. Okay, the fact that you guys are able to be here is based off of our victory. Okay, one of many, and then y'all coming over here literally acting like y'all don't owe nobody nothing, not even common decency and respect. Okay, and y'all can move how y'all want to move, and we're clearly telling you guys cannot. Okay, you can't. Nobody's letting me or allowing me to go to the mall. Actually, yeah. The fact that you are going to the mall is because we allowed that to be. Okay.
Afro. She mentioned she's from Texas, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure that if a bunch of racist people started boycotting her business, because she has a business, I saw her page, she would have to understand it to that extent, right? It's like it's too often it's this, oh, I don't see it, so I don't feel it thing. And it's just like, all right, bet. If you start losing money and if someone started writing racial slurs on wherever your business is, would you understand then?
Well, that's a good point. We're gonna move. Let's get to. We're gonna get to Dollface and then YT and IG.
So, my name is Lay. I'm from Maryland. I have Black American and Caribbean background. I definitely want to speak to something you already brought up in reference to a lyric that she had made Tyla be speaking on. Um, Basically, she knows that she's a preference as it pertains to the, I guess, the perception of her to other people, Black Americans, white people, whomever. I just feel like multiple different people within the African community, more specifically women, though, I don't, and just like I think, I don't know what his name is, nobody. Basically, he was saying the same thing. I feel like it was a projection of her own insecurity. A few of the other girls on here definitely had their own insecurities as well. But nobody really wanted to say exactly what they were feeling in reference to the whole topic at hand. I feel like she's their poster child to a degree. They have their own feelings, and she kind of validates their feelings as well. They don't want to say they don't like Black people. They don't want to come out and say the racist remarks and all those things, but they always end up saying the same thing in the chat. Oh, but the white man this and the white man that and the white man that. That's always their ending point that they always try to get to, and they don't have anything else to really say. And as somebody who generally grew up around other African women and things of that nature, I don't really even feel like they believe half the stuff they're saying. It's just a divisive thing. Like, I really feel like I don't know where that comes from. Just like you said, the one-sided beef. I don't know why they want to other themselves so badly, or push themselves, or push this narrative that never really will they all say we're all African, we're all African. There's a few people in there that said that, but they never really push that point and try to drive that narrative because they themselves don't even believe that either. It comes down to the point where, though, I think they're upset that we actually are trying to say something, that we're actually vocalizing on it. Like, I think they would just more so rather us be silent, rather us be like dormant to the disrespect, rather us just, not really even have any point of what I guess you consider power, or any voice of power over this whole conversation, number one. Hence why a lot of people is bringing up in the comments in reference to a lot of the different things that's going on as whole of the diaspora wars. It's a Black, well, I wouldn't even consider her Black because she said she wasn't Black, but an African woman who came over here and she was a doctor, and basically her whole entire like little thing that she got exposed for was her speaking ill on Black people. But these are the same people that you generally take care of. You're in the healthcare community, but you have a negative nuance or feeling towards these people. It's the same type of feeling about like being around white people. It's like you would think that these are your people, but you can't trust them either. You can get with these people and think like, oh yeah, we can be buddy buddy and kumbaya up until there's a certain point, certain conversations come up, and then true colors start to be shown. So I feel like as it pertains to this conversation as a whole, a lot of these women that got on here really generally got shut down. That's why they didn't get to say what they really wanted to say. They just share the same viewpoints as Tyla, honestly speaking. And then to the African man that said that she never said that she was colored, she definitely othered herself. And there was also another woman on here that was saying she didn't look Black, but I got her nuance to a degree. When she takes her hair down, and like you were saying, they pushed her and promoted her on like a Black aesthetic. She wears the braids now, nothing but braids now. But at one time, she had like the curly look, the kind of loose texture hair. You feel what I'm saying? So it's a lot of different things that play into why I understand their talking point. But they genuinely don't even, like I said, I really don't think that they had the real not even lack of education, because they definitely knew everything that we were saying in reference to all the different things that it took as far as our community or what we've done in our culture. They just didn't want to admit that. They don't want to give that grace to us. They don't want to give that type of a and I don't know really what it is, honestly, because it's simple to just give homage, like y'all was saying. It's very simple to, but it just takes so much in them. Like it just reminds me of the same type of stuff white people do. That's why I really don't understand the kind of talking points that they was having, but I do, as a woman, understand some of their belief systems or some of their nuances that they were trying to make, but it just didn't add up because, like I said, I really don't think they really had the balls enough to really say what they wanted to.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Your parent, you said you're from Maryland. You live in Maryland? Are you from Baltimore?
Baltimore.
Yes, I'm from Baltimore.
Okay, I could tell. I'm like, y'all got very distinct accents. Y'all
Oh
got
my
very
god.
distinct
I'm weak.
accents.
Now, even when you said Maryland, I was surprised you said Maryland instead of Baltimore. I said that girl ain't
Oh
from
my
Maryland. She's
god.
from Baltimore
Because I
Lakes.
was just trying to be a
She
little more
said
broad.
Merlin, and then she
Oh my
said
god.
you. I said, nah, she with it.
Look,
Oh yeah.
thank you.
You're
Let me say
welcome.
this. And then we're gonna move on because we still got a lot of people want to speak, and we want to be fair to everybody. The whole thing of black women don't want ambiguous women to represent them and stuff like that. I'm gonna let black women speak on that, but from what I can see, I'm gonna give my opinion on what I can see. I don't think that there's no issue with whether you a light skinned black woman or a dark skinned black woman, as long as you're not, because we've had light skinned celebrities or artists, and then we've had dark skinned artists. As long as you're not acting funny
Mm-hmm.
with your skin tone, you got the Aaliyahs, and then you got the darks, you got the Kelly
The
Rowlands, and you
Neil
got all of
Long, the
these.
Megan
Yeah, you
Goods,
you
all
got a
of
lot
them.
of you got a lot of different skin tones and everybody in between. As long as you're not acting kind of funny with your skin tone or how you look or whatever the case is, it's not gonna be no issue.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's why when she brought up, well, Chloe Bailey is light skinned. And I don't think in any of her songs or any of her interviews she's made that a big deal or a thing, or Holly. I don't think they've ever made their skin tone a big deal or a thing. And if they did, people would have an issue with it.
And I
Okay.
definitely agree with Zizi what she was saying as it pertains to Holly and Chloe. I don't really think it was too much of colorism, but it's more like a power play with their label at
Mm-mm.
hand. Definitely agree to that. Definitely.
Yeah, she's not dark. Somebody saying she's not light. I mean, she's in the
She's
brown
definitely
skin
a
category, but
more,
you know what I'm saying? She's not a
yeah, a
dark
lighter
skinned girl,
brown.
is what I think she was trying to say. Or what I was trying to say.
Afro,
Huh?
Afro, tell them to explain why everybody loves Sade. To this day, and delineationist has joined the panel. He says Sade his lady. My daddy say Sade's his girl. You understand what I'm saying? Sade, wouldn't she fit the technical term, even though she's from another place? If we're gonna say colored by African standards, she's biracial, and she's African, and everybody loves her. We love Sade. You can't talk bad about her. So Tyla is Tyla and Sade is Sade. But Sade is widely respected worldwide, globally, especially in America. So it's not an issue that we don't understand things or that, the world is colorist. It's how you act. Even though there is colorism, I'm not
Oh
gonna
no,
diminish
yeah,
that.
nobody's
But
denying
I
that.
think, yeah. But I think that, like Afro said, it comes to a testament of your character, especially when you're coming over here to a place that has the power to catapult you elsewhere. And this what? How many African immigrants here? Why didn't they support Tyler? Why she only made 3,000? So she not resonating with some of them because some of the stuff she does sounds like it's offensive to the natives in South Africa. But that's that. I'm gonna mind my business on that. But Sade, we love Sade.
Yeah, it's no issue. That's a projection, and that's to avoid accountability. Okay, when people bring that stuff up, it's to avoid accountability because people are saying that her behavior is an issue. Okay, not her look, her behavior is an issue. All right, that's what people are saying. All right, but let's continue with the conversation. I think this has been pretty good so far. I like the way it's going so far. Y'all make sure y'all tap the screen. We had like 200, almost 300 likes last time. Come on now, let's tap the screen. Let's tap the screen and share the space if y'all really love this conversation. Let's get to
Afro, can I tell you to add one question so people come up if they're African? Ask them, did they buy the EP? That's all I just wanted to say.
That's a good question. Thank you. Okay, let's get to YT and IG.
It's Nene. I just got
Nene.
YouTube on there. Yes, I am foundational black. My mom's Louisiana, so I'm Creole on that side, and my daddy's Geechee from South Carolina, North Carolina area. So been here for a good minute.
FBA, for
Right,
sure.
the 17s. But a lot of people in here were saying Tyla never said she was colored. First of all, I'm gonna make this very clear. Tyla looked like my cousin. They did just real shit. She looked like my cousin. If I take my hair out my profile pic, me and her could look related. She ain't special. Just put it like that. There's plenty of girls walking around in Mississippi, Louisiana, North Carolina, and South Carolina that look just like her. No different, and even in Texas. She's beautiful, but That's running around the country, baby. Like that's running around the country. She's not anything eccentric to the point where y'all have to put her into another category. First of all, let's make this very clear. I had to do my homework first before I came up here. The word color by Tyla has been used in numerous interviews. Back to 2020. TikTok. She first stated that she was a colored South African during the Breakfast Club in Cosmopolitan, later in British Vogue. The girl has used that term several times throughout the last 5 years. So let's not play that game as if she's never said that. She has. And for the simple fact that you guys keep saying, oh, well, that is who she is, that is fine. But another word for colored in Africa, in South Africa, is mixed, right? She could say, I'm mixed. I'm mixed with this and I'm mixed with that. We would have been fine with that. But the fact that y'all do not understand the complexity of that word in this country when it comes to Black people is why she failed. I didn't even know she was still making music. I dropped her after the Breakfast Club. And I said this last year, if she keep moving the way she's moving, Black people are going to back up. We're not even going to acknowledge her. When she won that Grammy, we said, Tim should have got that. Black people said Tim's should have won that. We literally said that. I was so mad. I was waiting for Tim's to walk up there and be like, thank you. And I bet you she would have been sweeter to Halle. I guarantee you she would have been sweeter to Halle. Second thing, this is not just a Tyla issue. I can remember when Kendrick Lamar did his Super Bowl. There were a lot of Africans over on the pond and in Africa talking about I didn't get the whole Super Bowl. It didn't make sense. That wasn't a show. It wasn't for y'all. They not like us. What part don't y'all get? That was a call to action for Black people in America. That had nothing to do with y'all. See, y'all don't understand the separation of our culture. We fight here. We fought so hard here that y'all got to come here. If y'all countries were so great, y'all would still be over there. But no, y'all come here, y'all step on our necks, y'all get y'all education, and y'all assimilate. Now, I don't know how you're going to assimilate the white culture because they look at y'all like they look at us. And let me make something very clear. Tyla's whole campaign was ran by white folks. But white folks know that in order for her to make it in this country, Black people have to approve before white people approve. White people don't approve nothing in the Black culture. If we don't like it, it don't bounce. And that's what y'all are failing to realize. She could come in and try to be a pop girl all she wants, but white folks gonna be like, do the Black people like it? Is the Black people falling for it? Do they like it? They don't like it. We don't like it either. We don't like it. And that's what y'all are failing to realize. And I want y'all, all y'all little people up in here that's from other countries talking about the word colored don't mean nothing. Walk up to a Black person from the ages of 30 and up and call them colored and see if you can get the taste slapped out your mouth. That is like saying Nigger to us, because that word was carried from the 18th century to the 19th century. We had to fight for that word to be changed to African American. That was the word they deemed us as. Wasn't African American first. So all this shit y'all talking, that is literally culturally ingrained in us. We have to fight for us to not be colored anymore. Y'all sound ignorant and disrespectful. And if that's the case, take y'all asses back to y'all country. That's how I feel. If you cannot respect the foundation of Black culture in America that gave you the right to bring your ass over here and find your wife, find your husband, get your education, get your credit, get a social security card, pay taxes, get a good job, they take your ass where the fuck you came from and don't come back. The end.
Notice that I gotta say this. Notice that most of the people who've been coming up here and trying to defend and been talking BS are from Nigeria. I'd be remiss if I didn't say that. There's no wondering why Nigeria is being banned by everywhere. We see the representation of how y'all feel like y'all get to act. Okay, y'all literally are, and these are the young generation of y'all acting like y'all get to just do what y'all please, do as y'all please. Okay. And we're letting it be known that no, you guys cannot. And now you're seeing why everybody is looking at y'all in particular a certain way. And I'm not even trying to beat up on y'all. I really want y'all to learn the lesson right now. Okay, we're up here. We don't have to talk to y'all. We can just say something and then let it be. But we are having the maturity and the grace enough to explain what our issue is with you guys, and you guys are telling us we need to get over it. When y'all don't even have you are not even entitled to be a part of this. Another call. You're not even entitled to be a part of this conversation, and yet we're having maturity to explain to you guys where you went wrong, and we don't have to. We don't have to, and y'all can't even appreciate that.
I never remember ever hearing during any time of me growing up, and I went to a HBCU, I never heard of Africans fighting for us, not one damn bit. But I do remember us fighting for them during the apartheid. I do remember our protests for Nelson Mandela. I do remember us doing all this shit. So if you want to be real, y'all got a lot of shit from us. From us. That's how we have Black pride. Y'all got a lot from us. Y'all got y'all way to come up in here. Y'all got us fighting for y'all across the pond. Hell, we still speaking for y'all now. And let me make something very clear. If Donald Trump gets what he wants, y'all first generations are going to be packing y'all fucking bags. Let's not play this game. He already put restrictions on most of y'all coming into the country. He trying to get rid of y'all asses. And if we don't speak as the NAACP, the foundational Black African Americans in this country, y'all asses will be packing y'all bags. So I suggest y'all start learning, appreciating, and show them some respect like we show y'all respect.
Appreciate that. All right, let's get to American Niji.
What's up, brother?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Doing all right. I just want to add a little bit to what's being said. You know, it's funny. That's how I know a lot of these folks didn't really grow up around Black Americans, because in our families, you know, we come from light skin to dark skin. You know what I mean? You know, but we all blood, we all kin. You know, so you mess with any of my cousins, that's going to be a problem. You know, but they don't understand that because I don't know, maybe their families are different. You know, they have a different culture, a different upbringing, and it's all about respect. You know, if you come to my house, respect my house. You know, if I tell you need to take your shoes off at the door, that's what you need to do. You don't have a argument in any of this. And if you don't want to follow the rules, then you ain't coming in the house. So I think a lot of this, you know, just comes from people just not understanding that they're in our territory. This is why we ask all these questions. When you come to the neighborhoods, where you from? Who you know? Who you roll with? Why you around here? You know, what's your business? Because that's just how we are as a people. So, you know, I think we have to do that with a lot of these folks coming from these other places. Where you from? Who you roll with? Why you out here? You know, what's your intention? You know, of being around this community.
Yeah.
Check them at the door.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I wanted to say.
Appreciate that. We getting it together. Have to cycle some people out. Zizi, you have anything you want to add before we go on? Don't want you to lose your train of thought if you haven't.
No, I did like that sister energy. It's funny because I knew when she turned her camera on, I said she's about to come in and say some real shit, or she gonna come up here and troll. But I kind of had a feeling you would. I see you hold up your phone when he was talking about the receipts, and Tyler saying, "What you got?" I said, "Oh yeah, she about to come in and say some shit." But I like what she said though. That was a bust. Good energy.
All right, cool. Yeah, appreciate it. Glad that we're making these foundational connections right here. All right. Let's get to. Hold on, Jessica. Let's get to Manny. You've been waiting very patiently, and then we're gonna get to my brother, delineationist, and then 6.
Okay, can I talk?
Yeah.
Hi, y'all. Okay, so I am Black. Let's start off with that. I am Black. My mother, you know, like the line of slavery, she comes from that line. And my father was Trinidadian, but I wasn't raised by him. I was raised by my mother and my uncle, who came from the Deep South. And that's where my, how do you call it? Ancestors come from. Okay, so I just want to say that to begin with. I am Black, and I do notice that, I'm not gonna lie, when somebody says that they're African on here, y'all low key like shit on them a little bit. So I just want to say that. That's what I noticed when I came on here.
Oh, wow.
Are you?
Okay, how do we do that?
It's like, okay, so they state their opinion, and sometimes I don't disagree with it, but it's fine. And it's like y'all go ahead and call them uppity Africans. I'm just like, oh.
Who have we referred to as
Wait. Where are you
Are
basing
you
this,
talking about
Manny?
this room? Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
okay, y'all. Are you talking about
Have you
here? Or are you
seen it?
talking about period at all?
I'm sorry.
Right.
Are you talking about in this live right now, or are you talking about like the culture as it pertains to the music industry and stuff?
Yeah, the music industry.
Well, the thing is
Oh,
that
okay.
how
Can
can
I
you
say
say that? How
this?
can you say that, ma'am, if you have other current modern day African artists who we know are African who are successful? Tim's is doing great right now. Another when you said I forgot her name. What's the other one?
Ara Star.
Ira Star.
Ara
Sade.
Star.
She's doing. There is a number of African. Was Shabuzi, I think, is African, if I'm
Williams
not
Kid.
mistaken, right? You
Burna
know what I'm
Boy.
saying? So there are other African artists who are doing good right now. So it's not like there's some issue with you being from Africa in particular, okay? Because we've said things about Black American artists that had issues in the past, okay? That's done things that we dislike, you know. So it's you're making it seem like we're holding people to a different standard, or there's some type of issue we have with Africa. No, there's not that. But if you cause a problem and we address the problem, don't hide behind, oh, y'all just attacking me because I'm African, because it's not that. And every time we address an issue that we have with somebody who happens to be African, you guys hide behind this shield of xenophobia and say, well, it's just an attack on me because I'm African. I've done nothing wrong. It's just because I'm African. And that's not the case. There's a lot of Black American artists who've said things and had to give apologies for it. Okay? Tyla is not above anybody. She said something that people felt was offensive and distasteful, and she should have gave an apology. The same way any other Black American artist who does something offensive gives an apology. Why should she be held to a different standard or put on a pedestal?
I'm not really. I just wanted to mention that as an overall statement before I get into like what I really wanted to say, because I come from the younger generation. I'm like Gen Z, so this might be like kind of controversial, but I'm wondering why colored it can't be reclaimed the same way the N-word was.
Wait, Manny, what's your ethnicity again?
I'm Black. Like
No, ethnicity, not your race.
That's a race.
Oh.
What are your parents? Are they Caribbean, African? What are they?
Well, my dad is Caribbean, and then my mother is Black.
Okay, and you said you weren't raised by your father, right? So
no, I was
again,
raised. I identify more with Black culture.
No, I get you. But I'm gonna ask you one more question. I'm gonna give it to BX.
What's up?
Do you have the how old are you? How old are you, by the way?
I'm 17.
Drop her.
Yeah,
I knew it.
You gotta listen from the comments.
I knew it.
You gotta listen.
He said reclaim color.
Right.
That gave me everything I needed. That's what I said.
Just listen, okay? And that ain't personal, but I need you to listen because we can't have minors on the thing.
Yeah, definitely not.
So when we're not a monolith, I'm gonna agree with that, right? We're not a monolith. So color was very offensive to our elders. We read the history books. We heard the oral history of those who were subjugated under that term. We also know the fight that they took to change that classification. Meaning expressed it, Afro-elite expressed it. Today, to this time, I don't like the term people of color. You'll find a lot of people saying, don't call me a person of color if they're Black American. And age, really, let's stop using age as a way to excuse being willfully obtuse. I know youth that I could call to the panel right now. They'll out-debate you on geography, and they're Black Americans. Geography, civil rights, Like, so I think that y'all don't get it because y'all don't know the people that were subjugated under it. And instead of Tyler saying, listen, I'm not a Black American. I could never understand or empathize what is going on or what happened under that word. But this is how we do it in my country, and I'll be more mindful. Even if she said that, right? I'll be more mindful. But when you start trolling us back and stuff, when basically we're trying to save you. Because if you come and you tell a white person colored is okay, they're going to treat you like they used to treat the colored people, and you think you're being their favorite. A lot of times, a lot of things that we're trying to educate you on is to save you from some of the things that we went through. Not to fall in line with white tea, but y'all don't get it. So as my mama used to say, may she rest in peace, a hard head makes for a soft, behind. That means that's tough love. You're going to have to learn on your own because we told you. We extended the olive branch enough to educate you. So that's all I got to say about that. Y'all got it. 17 is not an excuse. Getting them history books. I'm glad you came up to say that the younger generation, from your perspective, may be having a hard time. But at the same time, we know young people that get it. And the reason why they'll say I'm an elder, that they can sit around, is because I listen to my youth. I understand what they're saying. And they're not talking like you, ma'am. So I think you need to tap in a little bit more with your Black American side. I think you got some Pan-African ideals and you go by race alone, but race isn't driving America, or affirmative action would still be here. It's basically holding us back. We got to lead off a lineage. So tap in with your lineage.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this before we move on, or whatever the case is. We are not, because a lot of y'all be making it seem like, which is why I put this up, bullying. Y'all make it seem like we bullying every time we say something to somebody who's African that y'all don't like. No, there's a certain standard of behavior that a culture needs to upkeep, okay? And the culture has to be responsible of holding other people accountable. And we do that with our culture, whether you're a Black American or whether you're not a Black American. We was doing that earlier this year with Snoop Dogg, and Snoop Dogg is a damn hip hop icon. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then when he did something that was kind of out of line, you know what I'm saying? People was all like, nah, Snoop, that ain't cool. That ain't cool. And that's Snoop. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then we kind of moved on past that. It wasn't no relentless thing where now we want to see his downfall. But the thing is that when we got artists, because you have some Black American artists that act out of line, and that's true. And then you see the culture hold them accountable. Okay, you see them hold them accountable. So so Tyla or the other Africans are not held to a different standard where they need to be coddled and they can't be held accountable. No, when you do something that's out of line, you're going to be held accountable. Okay. If we do it to us, we're damn sure gonna do it to y'all. We're not, y'all not gonna come over here like y'all got some privilege. That's just no. Okay, delineation is, you got it, brother.
Guys, for the invite for the space. Always good space, always great work. Appreciate it. The culture is always right. Yes, in America, when Black folks, Negro folks, people from the lineage-based community, yes, the culture is always going to be right, even if they don't like it or not. Even if we're wrong, we're still right because it's our house. I just want to throw that out there 110%. So the things that she had wrong, it was three big things. One, she kept pushing this colored thing after she was asked not to. Second of all, she downplayed reparations. That was one of the things I had brought up that really irked me, and I was in a space about that personally. And her fans are anti-Black America, anti-Negro, against. I would go one step further. They're even against Americans in general, right? By how they attack the people that might be in opposition to her music and stuff of that nature. So those are the three big things. One of the things I've been observing, the culture and the behavior of other groups, is there used to be a saying back in the day when something was done to us that was wrong. We'll say amongst ourselves, it's because we're Black, it's because we're Negro, it's because of saying that we're done injustice because of who we are. I kind of see the same narrative with this xenophobic thing that they're trying to push. They're trying to say it's because I'm African, it's because of this. No, it's because you're violating the cultures and the customs that are here in our community. Mm-hmm. That's the reason why you're getting the pushback and the stuff that's going on. And so I just want to highlight, we got to be really careful with this narrative that they're pushing because I'm African. These people are xenophobic. I don't like it. It reminds me of what Dr. Claude Anderson has warned us about as a people. He specifically said that especially when it came to the black and brown, that they're trying to displace us on the American agenda and making us fourth, fifth, and sixth class citizens with this narrative that they're pushing. And I don't appreciate that. This is important, the reasons why we need to be reading Dr. Claude Anderson books. We need to be treasuring what that brother has said and shared with us. And actually read and understand what that brother was talking about and protect and preserve his legacy. Because there's a lot of people that don't understand what he's talking about, but they'll misquote that black man, that Negro man, or however you want to define, but they'll try to misquote that brother, and that's the problem. That is the major problem. So make sure you get that brother Powernomics. Make sure you get all his books, including that DVD. Make sure you rep that man right, because he already warned us about how these immigrants are trying to replace us off the American agenda. Salute to you as always, man. Good space. And I really do appreciate your work. And good job holding decorum.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah. And that
still my girl though, Miss BX.
My daddy. I'm about to call my daddy. He loves some Sade.
all right, nice talking to you. Nice talking to you.
Bye. Bye, Mimi.
So we're gonna get to next. Let's get to 6. We're gonna get to 6. Then Black Royal. Is that Royal or Royalty? Black Royal Beauty, and then we're gonna get to Jessica. Before we go there, I just want to just to pause so people don't lose this. BX or ZZ, do y'all have anything y'all wanna to say as far as
Just very quick, I wanted to say I don't think Black Americans, for the most part, have any desire to reclaim the word colored. Just going back to that girl. I don't think any of us have a desire to do that, even if we wanted. I think it's something we probably could do, but it's not something that any of us like. It's not a distinctive enough term, even if we wanted to use it. So, I mean,
Nope.
nah.
Yeah, well, right now, and this is how out of touch with the culture they are. Right now, we're trying our hardest to not be referred to as people of color.
Right.
Because of how they
Exactly.
do it. So why would we want to, I guess, move backwards and claim colored when we're trying to be more specific of who we are?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense with our plan to delineate. It doesn't make sense. It's working backwards.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't like NAACP to wear the name, because it's got that color in the nah. No, but that's just me.
Right. I just want to say this. I think that they're being willfully obtuse. Black Americans don't owe anybody anything. Y'all basically come in here and y'all are so disrespectful. We accept everybody, and everybody keeps saying, please mute King Hawk. Everybody keeps, like the girl said something about light-skinned people and that they're favored and all of this, or they wonder why light-skinned, I think she said she wondered why biracials are accepted as black over monoracially black people. That's because we and this may sound bad, we accepted them. Our community accepted them. They can't go into a white tea place talking about them. Why you think Obama was so respected or seen as a prominent figure and his mama is white tea? Them white tea people gave him hell. We Black Americans accept everybody, except you can't disrespect us. And so that's basically what this all boils down to. Us standing up for ourselves look like bullying because then they're called to the carpet. They're called out for their wrong behavior. And a lot of them aspire to be model minorities, but there's no such thing. Because when America want to get rid of you, boom, look at what Donald Trump is doing. And they don't see how spiritual this is, Afro. Every time we tell them to leave us alone and they don't, guess what happens? Travel bans for you. I think 25 countries, and it might be 36 soon. Visa restrictions, tariffs on certain countries. All of this stuff is because y'all don't know how to act. And guess who you're bothering? Your biggest allies.
Yep. I'm gonna say something.
So when America's ready to get rid of you, they will.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something else about the color thing. You have to understand in black and this exists in other African places. We're not ignorant, and all around the world, we're not ignorant. But in Black American households, our color dynamic and how we view colors of Black people is very different from how you all view colors of Black people. In Black America, we don't have a system where dark-skinned people live on that side of town and light-skinned people live on that side of town. You don't see that in America, but you do see that in other places in Africa and in other caste systems. You don't see that. Yeah, is there a little tension? I'm not going to dismiss that there is like tension of colorism and stuff like that. I'm not going to downplay that or dismiss that. But the way y'all have it as a caste system, that doesn't exist here. Okay, it doesn't exist here. Okay, where they're like somebody saying we're in Africa, South Africa, dude. That's why she's saying she's colored. Okay, and all of these other things. You know, we don't have that same disposition about it because in our households, you'll have 2-3 different shades of Black people living in one house. Most Black Americans' house, everybody is not the same shade of Black. There might be some darker. Even if everybody is dark skinned, everybody ain't the same dark skin. Even if everybody's light skinned, they ain't the same light skin. You know what I'm saying? So our view of color is not the same as you guys'. So when you guys come over here and you guys have this hyper fixation on, is this about colorism? Is everything about colorism? You're trying to project your feelings from your nation and how they view color on here, which is why you're all like, well, you know, light skin is so preferred and dark skinned women don't get any type of recognition. The community doesn't like to support dark skinned women. Well, not okay. Well, the way you're saying it, that might be the case in Nigeria where you're from, but over here the dynamic is not the same. Okay, that's not the same. It's not that a dark skinned woman, if she's great and talented, we just not gonna support because her skin is too dark. That's not the same. No, there's a lot of dark skinned women who are phenomenally successful in America. Okay, phenomenally successful in America. So our relationship with our skin and our skin tones are different than your relationship. And what I see a lot of them do is they come over here and they start projecting a lot of colorism issues from their nation over here, as if we have the same type of color caste system, and we don't.
And you know what? Just to add on, I think, especially for foundational Black Americans, the way that we, even outside of skin tone, we can tell that somebody, even if they're not fully Black, we can tell you got some Black in you just from your energy. If you was raised around Black people, certain mannerisms, the way you walk, the way you talk, certain cultural things that you indulge in, like we can just tell, oh, they Black. Oh, they must got a Black father. Or they must got a Black daddy. Or they must got a, you know what I'm saying, a Black cousin, a Black great grand, something like that, because there's something, even if it's not physical, even if you look YT passing, there might be something else about you that we can just pick up on naturally. That's like, oh, okay. You know, even like, what's her name from Sinners, Mary, who played, the girl who played Mary in Sinners, come to find out that she has the same exact like background as the character. She had like I think like a great grandmother who was Black or like half Black or something like that. And everybody was like, oh damn, that's why she played the role. So okay, that's why she could kind of, it rolls off the tongue. Certain things that she was saying, she was tapping into that part of her ancestry. So yeah, it's more than just a skin tone thing. We can tell when somebody's Black for sure.
Yeah. And if you act correct, that's all we ask, because we don't be tripping. We really don't. We don't be tripping. We not sitting up there viewing this like how y'all view it in this caste system. No, we don't be tripping. As long as you cool with it, you can be cool with it. We cool with you if you gonna be cool. But if you're gonna be on some, like for instance, look at, I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna let y'all speak. Look at Mariah Carey, who's half, I think her dad is white, I believe, and her mom is Black, right?
Yeah, no, her dad was Afro-Venezuelan. Like, yeah, like he Black, but I think her mom is Irish. But yeah, to your point, Afro.
Okay. But notice how it was never no funny denial of Blackness or even a reluctance to identify with Black people or Black culture or feeling like you're like in this bubble of in this bubble secluded from black people, like you're on some different level or pedestal. Notice how Mariah didn't act that way, and nobody has an issue with Mariah. Now notice Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, who, when you look at him, you couldn't really tell he's mixed. He doesn't really appear that mixed with his skin being as dark as it is, right? Tiger Woods, I think his one of his parents is Asian, and another one is black. And then how when Tiger Woods did the whole, well, I'm black and Asian, and there was another
Afro. Just to add to your point, Maya, the singer, she's her dad is black, her mother's Italian. We never gave her guff about being light skinned.
I ain't know she was Italian. I had no idea she was Italian. That's crazy.
You know, there was another. Who was the other tennis player who's like half Asian and half black?
Naomi Osaka.
You know what I'm saying? When we start to see that you're acting funny about being black, when we start to see that you're acting like you don't really want to claim it all the way, or you want to kind of jump back and forth between I'm black and I'm not really black, and I'm kind of black and I'm not really. When we start to see that, then we say, okay, well, all right, you can stay over there. Then you can stay over there, okay? Because we don't even be tripping about it unless you start tripping. Now, when you start tripping, then we just gonna lock the door, okay? And that's just how we do, and that's the right way to go about it. Let's get to 6.
Oh, how y'all doing?
We good, brother. We good. The live is popping right now. Y'all tap the screen. Everybody tap the screen. Come on now.
Yeah, tap the screen, people. But didn't I leave that comment on your YouTube saying that when she said that line in that song that I don't need no reparations, I was like, nope. Nah. When I first heard that line, that way before the awards, all the above, it seems that I don't know much about the upbringing, but it seems like there is colorism over there, and it seems that she kind of had like a, I don't know, like a snobby-ish attitude, uppity, kind of like she's better upbringing. I don't know. I can't be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I can't be wrong, but I don't know. But yeah, the disrespect, the arrogance. No, we are humble people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we are humble people. I don't care what anybody say. Black Americans are the most humble people in the U.S. of A.
Mm-hmm.
So you really have to do something for us to cut you off.
Yeah.
And like y'all gave plenty examples earlier, other people that learned their lessons, even our own. And that's another thing about it. We're the only ones that call out our own. If you notice, we call out our bootlickers, we call out our raccoons, we call them all out completely.
That's true. And they're not used to that. They're not used to holding their people accountable, which is why they're getting banned everywhere. Because they just allow their wild cards to run wild, okay, with no accountability. We don't do that, okay? Because in our culture, when we would go to, do y'all remember, and this is something FBAs we know too well, do y'all remember when we would pull up at the store with our parents and we would have that little talk in the car about don't ask for nothing, don't go around playing, don't go around making no noise. You better act like you got some sense. When we would go to, oh my God, don't let you go to a family member's house and act a fool. Don't let you would have a lesson. They would do a whole sermon in the car before you went in the house or in the store or whatever the case is, where they would look, don't do this. You better not embarrass me. You better not do this. You better not ask for nothing. You better not even say you hungry. You better be quiet. You better sit down. That's something we know way too well. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's something we still do. All right. So we understand that you got to check people. And if people get out of line, then you're going to have to address that, because we understand we don't want our family members representing the family, making us look bad. Okay, because let's be honest, we also talk a lot of shit. And if we see some bad kids, we're gonna be like, oh man, they don't know how to deal with their kids. Because we do, and we know that.
Yeah.
We know for a fact we do that, and we know we don't want that stain on our family. So we know for a fact you can't go around embarrassing me because now everybody gonna be talking about me. And we can't have that. So you need to behave. And everybody in the chat room, y'all get it. Because I've heard that speech so many times. It's crazy. Okay. Every time we stopped the car, we would stop the car and everything like that. And if I see we didn't get out immediately, like, oh, here it comes. All right, here we go. And this is how you develop a culture of checking each other. All right. This is how you develop a culture of making sure that people represent the community or your family well. Okay. And if y'all don't do that, folks get to just go around representing y'all, making y'all look bad. Because y'all didn't come up with that. We came up with that as children. We came up with that. You know?
And it don't necessarily gotta be family. I mean, for example, this story, I mean, this just happened like recently that me and my coworker was at 7-Eleven. There was another guy in there. We know he was Black American also, but he was a little bit ahead of us, you know. There was a Mexican guy came in the store just mugging him down and stuff. Just, you already know how we take mean mugging and stuff. So he tried to play it out, but the guy came back to the front, asked the cashier something, looking him all in his face or whatever. And so they had like a couple of words, and dude, they was having words or whatever. Guy went outside already. We got our things. We went to our car. And said, well, I ain't gonna lie, I was sitting in his truck, in my coworker truck. The guy was pumping his gas, and the Mexican dude came outside, popping off again. So they almost got into a confrontation or whatever. So me and my coworker was watching. We just sitting there watching all of a sudden. So when they started going toward each other, we seen two other Mexican guys get out their car. When we seen that, you already know, go time. We out the car like, what's up? So, and we
like to hear that. That's being on code. I love it.
Yeah. Hey man, we don't know. We don't even know this dude. We don't know. Only thing we know is by he talking and stuff. Of course, he one of us. Man, as soon as them guys they hopped out, man, we hopped out. As soon as they seen us, everything was like, nah, we don't want it because the guy was with, we call him Big O, and Big O is like 6'7". So we up.
You want those problems.
No, they ain't want the problem. They calmed down real quick and stuff. So they got back in the car. We talked to old dude. We shook his hand. We ain't exchanged numbers. I ain't changed names. Appreciate it, bro. All right, man. Hold it down. And that was it.
6.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. But like man, we man, it's different now.
Yeah.
It's way different now. We man, don't do it. Please don't do it.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you. Yep, it's a sense of community, all right? Which is why we saying the culture always wins, man. The old Mexican boy had to learn that almost the hard way. The culture's always going to win. You cannot go around acting like this is sweet. Nothing is sweet out here, okay? Y'all gonna learn. Let's get to Black Royal Beauty.
Hello, Black American from California. I was always taught that if you listen, a person's going to tell you who they are. If you pay attention, they're going to show you who they are. Mm-hmm. And I say that to say that I've been listening to them. I've been going backwards and forwards on their panels. I know they're backwards and forwards on our panels. So they're not clueless to what is going on or what is being said. They know what we're saying. But they think, one, that we're stupid. Two, they are in more of a crisis than they want to let on. There is a video of a girl, big nose Nigerian, where she is on there telling Africans, telling just you guys, let's go ahead, let's just let the YT people have
I've seen that.
Nigeria, you know.
Hmm.
And when you go into it, I was in one where a lady, she was so angry she started crying. And then she was like, this, we're in a third world, we're going through, and she was saying like they're being colonized right now and saying what was going on. So when they get the saying, you guys are just something for your white tea daddy and everything else, that's their reverse psychology that they're trying to play because they know what we're saying. We're spending our time trying to educate them. So instead of them taking the time to embrace, because they hear what we're saying, but they're not caring about what we're saying because they have their own agenda at play. They're one, trying to flee their home, two, trying to conquer everywhere that they go because we can see that. And when I explain that, you know, they want to tell us, no, it's great, it's riches and everything else. And so then a lady asked me, because she heard me say in another group about them trying to like divide and conquer, because that's what I told her. I said in another group, I said, I'm looking, you guys are on multiple states. People are kicking you out because you're coming into their states, trying to take over. You're fighting everywhere but your own home. So and they're pissed off at everybody else because they're fighting. And if this woman can go online and tell her own people to flee their country instead of fighting for it, they're cowards. And I asked them, why does it matter so much to you guys if somebody want to say that they're Black American or Black Indian? I said, we got men that say they're women. We got women that say they're men. Who cares? We don't care. You guys focus on the craziest things. So if somebody say they're indigenous, you know, if you guys are making a big deal about Tyla and her saying colored, and but if you know we say we're not African, you're upset about it.
That's
But
the
you're
point.
not even there in Africa to represent or speak up yourself. You're here in America. So how are you here in America upset and fighting with us to try to force us to say that we're African when you're not even in Africa yourself? You are here in America because you guys are fleeing from your countries because things are bad for you. And if it is, it's okay. We welcomed you and we've said it. Every platform that I see that we're putting, we're not disrespecting them. We're talking to them saying, hey, listen, this is what you guys are doing wrong. See if you can fix it. We're not, you know, see, you got some people saying, get the hell out, get the hell out. But a lot of people have been saying, see if you can fix this about yourselves. But that's not something that they want to do. You know, and I asked the African lady, I said, why can't you, okay, at this point, back and forwards, why can't you guys be a bigger person and step up and say what I've done wrong? She's like, no, why don't you Americans be a bigger person? I said, we're in our home. Why would we need to be a bigger person in our home? Because if I walked into your house and I disrespected you in your house, you would not take it. But the thing is, they don't have any respect for each other because they're on their own platforms fighting against each other. I'm listening. One was saying they're West African, another one was saying there was this, and they can't. One guy came in and said, and he had a British accent. He didn't even have an African accent, saying, hey, 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 we're all Africans. This is our problem right now. We got the white tea dividing us up, and we're sitting here fighting. And if somebody else come in from the FBA, these are the exact words they said. If somebody else come in from the FBA and see us fighting like this, what do you think they're going to go take back to their people? So they are over there fighting like hell. And I let them know that I heard them. And I let them know because I'm like, you're on here fighting with each other like hell. And then you're fighting with everybody else. Right about now, I see nothing but divide and conquer. You cannot conquer your home, so you want to come and conquer ours. You've tried to insimulate us, so they insimulating us from somewhere back in the 80s where they talking about somebody light skin versus dark skin. That ain't happened in so long, you know. So I don't know what to say about it, but it's something real fishy about the whole situation because they're trying hard to push their narrative off on us. The things that they're saying, the hate that they're saying, and then the narrative that they have. They think we're all stupid. They call us whores. We're baby mamas. They got their topics of us being the Akatas and are they just baby mama drug dealers or
Crime and all that stuff.
yeah, so they have a real negative outlook on us. They don't feel like they feel like they can take us over before they can take over the white tea people. So they want to conquer. They've been conquered for so long. They're trying to figure out how they can conquer people, but they failing right now. They failing in every freaking country that they're trying to conquer. But that's what they're trying to do. If you pay attention.
It's deep. Y'all make sure y'all tap the screen. Y'all make sure y'all tap the screen. I'm gonna say something else too. A lot of that is because, let's be honest, they do not respect the fact that this is our home. They don't respect that, and they're letting it be known that they do not respect that, which is why they feel as if they can come here and do whatever. Because it's like if your sibling tells you, "Hey, make sure don't be like, for instance, don't be running in and out the house. Okay, if you're gonna be inside, be outside, be outside." Yeah, your mom or dad or your grandma or grandpa could tell you that. You're not really gonna let your cousin tell you that, man. You know what I'm saying? This is you don't have any authority over me. If we all at grandma's house, this is just as much my grandma as it is your grandma. So what makes you in charge of me? All right. Okay. And they keep treating it like this is not our nation. This is not our house. Okay. We've made them feel so comfortable and welcome them so much where we've allowed them to believe in the delusion that this is not our house. So then when we want to step in and be all like, hey, you kind of overstepping your boundary, they'd be all like, hey, I shouldn't have a boundary because this house don't belong to you any more than it belongs to me. That's how they feel. They feel this house belongs to the white man. And if anything, I need to respect his authority and his alone. I don't have to respect y'all. This is, and she literally, you had a Nigerian speaker come up here and damn near say that the only people they got to respect is the white tea authority. Okay. And as far as everything else is concerned, this is a melting pot and nobody has any other authority over anybody else. And right now we're showing them this is not that. We are not peers in this together. You've come to our house and we've been too welcoming to you guys. And you guys have believed this delusion where you guys don't feel like you're guests. You feel like you own this house. And now we have to remind you guys that you guys are guests in this house and you guys will act that way or you will leave. And a lot of them are now, with ICE and all that stuff, a lot of them now leaving. Okay? Because you guys were not respectful guests. All right. I remember, speaking of that, I remember when Lord Jamar, he told Eminem that Eminem is a guest in the house of hip hop. And Eminem felt some type of way about that. He was all like, no, I'm not no guest in the house. This is a mansion and I built this mansion or whatever the case is. And let's be honest, Eminem's been making flop albums since. Okay. It don't matter what you think you're doing. It don't matter how big you think you are a guest. This is not your house. Okay. And if you're not going to respect that, then you're going to meet the consequences of that. Y'all keep thinking y'all bigger than the program, and I'm telling y'all not, and we're showing you you're not. Okay. Fat Joe said he can say the N-word and he can do what he want to do, and nobody's gonna tell him what to do. Who foundational Black Americans, and now look at now ain't nobody checking for Fat Joe. Okay. Fat Joe stepped out of line as a guest, and now ain't nobody checking for Fat Joe no more. Mexican OT said, who gonna stop me from saying the N-word? Now look, Mexican OT had to immediately damn near come out with an apology. You're stepping out of line as a guest. You all are guests in the house that we built. And it's our responsibility to remind you of that. Let's get to Jessica.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hi, I'm Jessica. I am Black American. My family came to New York during the Great Migration. First and foremost, I want to say they could never make me hate us. Like, they could never make me feel like we're the ones in the wrong, because that's not how it went down. This whole xenophobia narrative that they're running with, it's ridiculous, because when they was doing it to us, literally, I would get on this app be scrolling, and unprovoked, you'll see an African, a Caribbean, one of those big bubble lip, ooh,
Damn.
black British, all of them making jokes about us. We wouldn't even be doing anything, literally. They always have an opinion on us. Still to this day, I'm gonna get out this live and there's gonna be videos about us. So I just want to piggyback off of a lot of what y'all said. So, and some of the comments, because I've seen people say we stole hip hop. First of all, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. We did not steal hip hop. Cool Herc, Grandmaster Flash, and African Bambaataa is referred to as the founding fathers. Cool Herc has went on record many of times crediting James Brown, a black American man from the deep South, as his inspiration. He didn't even tell people he was Jamaican when he first got here. Like, I wish y'all stopped with that narrative. They say we jealous. Jealous of what? Before the internet, when we was little, because most of us are millennials in here, I believe, or the older generation. From what I always saw, it was y'all was in despair. Y'all was suffering from famine and stuff like that. Like, what is there to be jealous of? We actually felt bad. What else I want to talk about? I'm sorry that I'm going fast. I'm just really passionate about us. Them always going against us with reparations. Like, for example, like I said, I live in Brooklyn. I live in the 90s to be exact. And our congresswoman is Yvette Clarke. She constantly goes against reparations, but always is advocating for immigrants, the Caribbean community. And while I'm on the Caribbean community, let's talk about the West Indian Day Parade that will happen on Labor Day in Brooklyn. There will be no Black American culture being displayed at all, nor do we want it. But when it came to Juneteenth, the Caribbean community in New York literally went out their way to disrespect the Black American community. After Juneteenth, they literally had so many parades in this city. I've never seen it. I'm from Brooklyn. They've never done nothing like that. They have been actively trying to prove that they own New York and not Black Americans. It's just so much I can go into. Like, they say we bleach. Bleach what? Our buttholes and our underarms? That's about it. We don't have bleaching culture over here. And yes, we have colorism, but it's not to the degree of theirs. Like, y'all prop up light-skinned women. And yes, they prop up light-skinned women in the Black American community, but we get on y'all ass. Like, we don't have a problem calling each other out. They very much act like white people, like their mindset. They saying that we are the colonizers. They blaming everything on the CIA. I don't even think they even know why we refer to the CIA, but for some reason they keep using that as a thing. It's okay for them to disrespect us constantly, but when we speak up about it, for some reason it's a problem. You know who else do that? Who want us to shut up? Who else do that to us, y'all? When we be speaking up about the racism and the oppression and the, unalivings of our Black men and women in this country. Who be wanting us to be quiet about it? White people. I'm gonna get off, and I love you guys. I love y'all work. I be seeing y'all all the time. I mean, most of the panel, my Black American people, yeah, keep holding us down, and that's all I wanted to say. Y'all doing the Lord's work. You feel me? We are the shit. We gonna continue being the shit. We run this shit, and that's why they mad. And y'all gonna continue to be mad. And I'm out of here.
All right.
NBA all day, baby.
BK in the house.
You did?
Yeah.
All right, y'all can drop me. I love you guys. Keep doing y'all shit.
Thank you, sister. Thank you.
Love you too.
Love you.
Love. All right.
Want to see it?
Yep.
Peace.
I mean, come on now. Where's the line at? Y'all acting out any old type of way. We hold each other accountable, and when we do, nobody say nothing. The second we get on y'all be acting like somebody doing y'all wrong, and we just not gonna do that. Because if that's the case, y'all just literally, because y'all not gonna do it. It'd be one thing if y'all did it, but y'all clearly won't do it. So we got to do it. Because y'all won't do it, and we got to do it. Don't say nothing about how we do it then. Okay. Let's get to King Rock. And we've been on for a couple hours, like a few hours maybe. So we'll be kind of wrapping things up a little bit in a little bit. Y'all make sure y'all tap the screen. Everybody tap the screen. We can get to about 300K likes before we get out of here. All right. But King Hawk, you got it. King Hawk, you can unmute yourself. Okay, all right. Let's get to Travis.
What you're saying, the culture is right. I'm gonna probably age myself, but I wish her team, the girl that's behind you, would have saw how Black community reacted to Whitney Houston. I don't know if many remember when she first came out and she was singing these pop songs, and people were calling her white and everything, and then she kind of got booed at the Soul Train Awards. If she would have did her history and her studies on American history, she would have known that Black people in America are the predominant audience. We created all genres of music, from pop to bluegrass to hip hop. Hip hop was our news anchor. You know, I'm originally from New York. My mom is from South Carolina, born and raised. So I don't understand the whole trying to erase us, because technically everything that we do, y'all follow. When it comes to fashion, we were the ones who started the trends of fashion. Fashion came into hip hop. That's how we learned what was hot. When it came to Tommy Hilfiger, when he didn't want us in there, he had to fall in line when he saw that his biggest consumers were Black people. We dominate a lot of things. And I think that they don't understand that, because of the simple fact of what they've been taught from the media in their country, because they make it look like the negative stereotypes, like, oh, we're pimps, we're hoes, we're ghetto, we're this, we're dirty, we're da 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 da. But not realizing, like, a lot of us are very educated. A lot of us went to school. A lot of us don't live that lifestyle. We had Bill Cosby, we had shows like Different World. They all teach us how our communities are. So I don't understand this. Oh, well, y'all need to bow down to Africans or Caribbeans. It's like, no, we don't need to bow down, because at the end of the day, your culture is coming from us. When you come to America, you emulate our culture. We don't emulate your culture. And in the 90s, we were very big on African culture. We were wearing the dashikis. We were wearing the colorful African tributes. So we were actually showing homage to you guys, but you guys can't show homage to us. I don't understand it. It's just stupid. So that's just what I have to say. I appreciate everybody's opinion. Only small critique I do have is this. I wish people of the African descent would just be able to speak their piece without getting like over talk, because sometimes I was trying to hear what they were trying to say, but most people were kind of over talking them. But that's my only critique. But other than that,
I try to make sure people, but sometimes if you just lying or if you're rambling, then we'll get in the line. But thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I get a lot of people are passionate about it. A lot of people are. Yeah. I mean, we do set the trends. We do set the culture. And y'all talking about the YT culture is the one that we gotta assimilate to. The YT culture follows us. Okay, we are the ones who make things relevant and not relevant. They're the ones who are talking like us in our vernacular and our lingo and things like that. Now the thing is that even the music genres they copy from us. They just say that they don't. Okay, because country came from us. Now they don't want to admit it. They don't want to give us our credit. But country came from us. So did rock and roll. That stuff came from us. There's a lot of different dress styles and trends and things like that that came from us. Now they don't want to admit it, but they even copy from us. All of these music genres and trends and fashion and all of this stuff comes from us. So when we say we are the culture here, we do mean that. Historically speaking, we are the culture here. Y'all are not going to be able to come here and then just do as you please. No, it's not going to work that way. It has never worked that way. Let's get to Sky.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is one of my favorite spaces out here. But anyway, I wanted to touch the lady that spoke before, but she's no longer on the panel. She said something about Tyla looking like her sister or something like that, and that why is she not identifying as black? But colored is a very complex thing in South Africa. And personally, I don't even want colored to identify as black in South Africa. Let me tell you why. Because they are the most racist people, anti-black people that think they were better than the native black people of the country, right? And also the colored, it's not just a race of just biracial people. There were enslaved people in South Africa as well that came from Asia, so those ones that are descended from those enslaved people that came from Asia also form part of that cultural identity called colored in South Africa. So that is why we don't even want them to identify as black. And also Tyla, she probably is just 25% black, because even her mother is not fully black. Her mother is mixed. Yes, good job, baby. So, even her mother is not black. Her father as well is Indian, mixed with people from Mauritius. She's not even fully black. And also the reason why we don't want them to identify as black, because they only identify as black when it's convenient for them. But if it's not, they say the most anti-black thing, they're very racist, so that's what I wanted to speak on, that we don't even want them to identify as such, because if they do identify as such, it's also trying to steal identity. In fact, they're doing that now. The whiteys in South Africa are trying to claim that the native black South Africans were not indigenous to the land, but rather they migrated from West Africa, which doesn't make sense at all. And they're trying to say that the colors who are descendants of Asians are indigenous to the land, because they're trying to claim that they have Khoisan DNA, in which they don't at all. Because these people that want to claim the black DNA are the most anti-black people ever. They are proud that they don't have our eye color. They are proud that they don't even have our hair type. But the same people only want to claim black when it's convenient for them. So if you guys have any questions, I'm willing to answer anything.
There's a couple of points that you made.
Question.
Let me get to. Let me. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let BX go, because there was a couple of points you made. The thing about what you just expressed to us is indigenous erasure.
It is.
Which is,
It is
and that's
exactly that.
indigenous erasure, and that's something that we understand that the YT people do pretty much everywhere they go. Where
That's
they
why we
go,
relate
they
so much with black
colonize and then say, you know what? Actually, you guys aren't really from here. They do that everywhere they go. So if this is why when we say, when a black American, a FBA says, okay, well, we're indigenous to America, there were black people in the Americas before, that gets gaslit and we get called quote unquote pretendians and we don't want to be African. I'm not saying you're saying that, but I'm saying that this is something that we hear. We get
That's
called
true.
Indians and not wanting to be African, and y'all think y'all Indians and all of this stuff. When y'all understand that indigenous erasure goes on to every group of people that have been colonized all around the world, and then when we claim that we have faced indigenous erasure, y'all say that we're lying and we just don't want to be African. And even if we bring the receipts up and the proof up, we're lying and we don't want to be African and we're pretending. And this is something that gets so frustrating, because when the same thing happens to y'all, nobody says that. Nobody is telling the South Africans, man, maybe y'all really not indigenous, man. I don't know. Maybe y'all lying about being indigenous. That doesn't happen here. But when it happened, but when we say, actually, my grandmother was Cherokee or Choctaw or whatever, oh, here y'all go with that again. My grandma said I was Indian. Y'all lying. It's always this gaslighting with us, because we suffer from indigenous erasure as well, too, the same way that's going on in South Africa right now. I just wanted to say that before that gets forgotten.
Yeah, I do agree with
had
that.
a question.
Okay, you can go ahead and ask.
No, answer. You can answer. Respond to Afro.
Okay.
I could wait.
Okay. I wanted to say that I do agree with that as well, because when I joined the spaces as well, I joined them a lot, and I also try to explain that to them. Some of us do acknowledge that black people are indigenous to the Americas, right? Excuse me, hold on.
I want to know about their census.
Yeah, sorry. We
Indigenous
do
conversation.
acknowledge that Black people are indigenous to America, right?
Uh-huh.
And and that's why I was saying on this other space that these conversations are important because this information is suppressed and people don't know it. Sometimes they're coming from a place of ignorance. Sometimes they're coming from a place of lack of knowledge because they only know what they've been given by the whiteys. You know, so that's why I always tell them that this space are important. They should make sure that the message spreads out and not use them as time to troll other African people. Because I also don't subscribe to any anti-black rhetoric, because there was someone who posted a picture on Twitter, of Black people with different shades, and said the one who was a bit lighter than the others was the Black American, and the one with the darkest shade was African. So he was claiming that Black Americans don't come in all those
Yeah,
shades.
I saw that, and I'm gonna respond to that
Yeah.
on YouTube because that's just we black Americans come in all shapes and sizes. I don't like when people try to make it seem like all Black Americans have one skin tone or
Yeah.
I don't like when I find that to be very disrespectful. To be
It
very
is
honest
very
with you, so I don't
disrespectful.
like when people do that.
Yes, with things like that. So, that's why I always encourage them that they should not use those, white supremacy talking points when they're talking about, other African countries, because also darker skinned Black Americans become victims of that, indirectly. So yeah, that's all I
Yeah,
wanted.
yeah, I'm gonna address that, but yeah, thank you. But yeah, I don't like when people do that. But BX, you had a question, right?
Yeah, I wanted to ask about her census, but I also saw a comment about the Great Migration and where the people from the South weak. I think that people are misinformed about the conditions in the North. We face a form of Jim Crow North here. We face segregation here. We had enslavement here. People feel like New York never had enslavement. There were enslaved Black Americans here. There were free people, and there were the Quakers who usually gave the free people jobs and stuff like that. Like, so New York had one of the earliest slave revolts. So when you say my people migrated from the South because they were fleeing conditions, they were coming for better jobs. They were coming to explore new territory, but there was still, for lack of a better term, indigenous Black Americans here who are descendants of chattel slavery too. So nowhere in the nation, even though they say Cali was not a slave state, slavery was in Cali. One of the earliest legislators, he was trying to bring slavery back to Cali, but he had slaves there. New Jersey freed their enslaved population in 1866 after Juneteenth, but we don't hear about it. So the North has a different history. My ancestors left the South because they were told there were better job opportunities, but they met with the same conditions. And here's the thing, they stayed in the same country, fought the same conditions, just from a new location. They didn't cross thousands of feet of water and took hours to get here just to come and impose on the indigenous people. You get it? So my ancestors have always been fighters. I don't care if they was in the Midwest, the West, the South, or the Northeast, wherever they were in this nation, they fought because they ain't free. They in the same country.
Right.
So with that said, I wanted to say this to you, Scott. I noticed you said that you didn't want Tyla to say that she was Black. Can you tell me, because there's a big discrepancy, in like places like South Africa, y'all do have censuses, right?
Yes, we do.
So do you have a Black as in BLACK classification, or is it in your
Yes.
language?
No, no. Actually, in South Africa, English is a medium of instruction, so we use English in almost everything in the country,
Okay.
right? So we also have that caste system where we are identified as Black, right? Whites are identified as white, and colors are identified as colors, and then Asian for Indians and other Asian people from other Asian countries, rather. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to say that because I got to tell you, I'm from an age, and this is not to weaponize my age, but just show you that my experience may be a little different. And I'm also a product of those who were enslaved in New York, and those who migrated to the South. So I got a lot going on in my genealogy, right? And so I just know that when I would interact with like the Caribbeans and my minimal interaction with the Africans, they never would say they were black. They would always say, well, I'm Jamaican, I'm Haitian, and even the Latinos who look melanated like us. Well, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm Dominican. They never stood on being black as we do in here. That's our race and our ethnic group. So when we say that, oh, you're not Black American, you're African, people give us pushback. So I just wanted to clarify how the South Africans identified they had black in the way that we have black on our census. Yeah, because before they wasn't saying none of that. They stand on nationality. They stand on tribe. They don't stand on ethnic group being black the way we do.
It's different in South Africa. Other African countries, you would notice that they don't even want to identify as black, but they want to identify as their ethnic group and stuff. We also do identify as our ethnic groups, like Zulus and all that stuff. But in South Africa, we still have that caste system in place because remember we were a colonized country. So some of those systems that were in place back in the day are still in place today. So we very much use that caste system, and we very much identify ourselves as black. But some other African countries don't want to, and that's fine. But we do in South Africa, particularly. Yeah.
Okay. Before we get out of here, if y'all can tap the screen, everybody tap the screen, and listen. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let Zizi go ahead. We get it. We get it. South Africa, y'all got a different history. Okay, we are not ignorant or unsympathetic or unempathetic to other people's history. We've been the most empathetic people, even when it comes to struggles of people who are not black, like the Japanese people or like Hispanic people. We are very empathetic and understanding to other people's history. But the thing is that we would want our culture to be met with the same respect that you guys expect us to meet you guys with if we were to go to your culture or to go to your land. Now, the thing is that if South Africans found it offensive that Tyla identifies as black because of her mixed lineage, I can say, it could have been very easy for her even not to claim black. I don't think the issue was that she didn't want to claim black. The issue is that she's using terms or verbiage that in America is outdated and is seen as insensitive and disrespectful. And when she was aware of that, when she was notified of that, there was no change in behavior. This, coupled with several other things that may be even smaller, adds up. All of these things add up into one thing that now everybody's just analyzing her behavior as a collective of all of these situations. And now we're saying, okay, well, you know what? She's kind of problematic. That's what a lot of people are saying. Okay. It's not because we're insensitive to other people's struggles or other people's wishes or whatever the case is. But if she came here and said, hey, I'm mixed, that it wouldn't have been that big of a, it was really not that big of a deal. The fact that she and her team drug it the way they did made it a much bigger deal than it really had to be. But Zizi, I'm gonna let you go ahead.
Interesting hearing the perspective from somebody that's in South Africa, hearing her say that she doesn't want her to identify as black. As I understand it, here putting it in context of their caste system and things of that nature, I definitely can understand. But like you said, the way that her PR team handled that, it was just so unnecessarily like messy and offensive and like just, not as clear and cut and straight to the point as it could have been. That could have been cleared up in an interview, like literally one interview, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it definitely is still a problem what she was doing. And all the other things that we've talked about throughout the stream. But yeah, just moving forward, we know that we all want this African boycott, or this immigrant boycott, should I say. And I think throughout this time, topics like these, for sure, even though it's supposed to just be for the month of August, but we might have to push it a little further.
Yeah, they still talking crazy.
They still talking crazy, So Yeah, maybe we might have to push it a little further because people like this have to be, like Tyla, have to be checked. This is a way in doing that. I don't think it's a coincidence that her album didn't do good and it's the month that we boycott. I'm just saying, okay. Ancestral saying something. So I think we definitely doing something right by doing this. But people like her that have a track record of being disrespectful to our culture, to our people, to our lineage, it's just not going to be. It's not going to be accepted. It won't be tolerated. And it has to be corrected. It has to be checked at the door. So yeah, that's what type of time we on during this immigrant boycott throughout August. We checking the nonsense at the door, the anti-blackness at the door. So yeah, you get with it or get lost. Get with it or get canceled. Get with it or get no money. It's up to you.
Now, Zizi, hold on. Because who put a date on the boycott? I've been boycotting the Asians since 2016 and the Africans since 2023. Boycotting is not for a moment, it's for a lifestyle. It's too much disrespect. The moment they put their mouths on my ancestors, I've been on go ever since because I realized I had to pick a side, and I'm going to pick the side of the righteous because my ancestors are being exploited. They was forcefully removed from the continent. I don't even think they wanted to go back there. All this, we paying homage to Africa. They ain't never fight to go back to Africa. They fought to improve America, to make America a better place. And I ain't talking about my 1965 ancestors. Shout out to them for putting up the good fight for civil rights. But I'm talking about the ones who stayed in Negro towns and raised Negro children, especially the mulattoes, okay, excuse me, that's how they were classified, who could have passed into whiteness. I'm talking about our down-ass ancestors who fought for better conditions in America. And when I say Black Americans are patriotic, we should raise our flag, it's not to dominate America, it's to improve it. I just wanted to say that. I don't think that they're going to learn in a month, right? The level of disrespect, they're buying historically Black churches in Philly and even converted one into an Airbnb. I found out they're buying land, small towns in Mississippi. This is not to improve the Black race, if we're going to go Black racially, or they wouldn't desecrate our history. I think that what it is that they're upset they aren't seen as moving the globe anywhere. They can't get it popping on that continent. This is not to discredit the South Africans who fought back, because I was a team when we were champion for everybody to divest from the companies who were supporting apartheid. This is not to the Ethiopians who we did have a relationship with, and our Tuskegee Airmen went over there to teach them fighting strategies. This is not to discredit the Baynard Rustins of the world that traveled to Africa and strategized. See how I know my history? See how I know the people that went over there? See, I even got a tattoo of Africa on my leg. But here's the thing. I think we were in love with the idea of having a homeland and the land, but the children of that land don't like or respect us. Why? Because they ain't evolving in the rate that we are. You know what somebody said the other day? Shout out to Jazzy Uncensored. She said, these people over here talking about EBT, the whole country's on EBT, talking to Kenya, because Kenya's in the mix. And we wasn't even talking to Kenya. They a whole EBT country, relying on aid from United States, and our taxes going to that for rice, water, this, that. For people, a continent that need America, specifically Black Americans, you're really eroding the fabric of whatever relationship that we had. Because I'm on this boycott for years. For years. It just went viral now. Everybody could tell you BX was one who was always like, come on, y'all, this our shot. You got to put your money back. And I was going at the Asians first. But this boycott is a blessing in disguise because our men keep telling us stay out them Asian shops. But if we stay out of the African braided shops, we impact the Koreans who give them the hair. See how that works? So this is not, I'm a little passionate because they're too disrespectful. You see how she said the white tea man's culture? The other one said nobody could tell her what to do. Nobody gave credit to the ancestors who built up America. They tried to diminish it, and nobody gave credit for our civil rights. Talking about don't wear their prom dresses. Don't do this. Don't use a toilet bowl. Don't use our civil rights. Which one can you live without? Because we can live without a prom dress, honey. But y'all can't live without our civil rights. Y'all need us. Y'all need us, and that's why everything every other ethnic group tries to do fails and falls flat. Because had a Black American said we're going to protest, the National Guard would have been out there before we said the sentence, right? The Latinos said it, the National Guard ain't come for days, and everybody's looking at where's the Black Americans, but everybody's anti-Black American. And shout out to my Brooklyn queen that she brought it up, Yvette Clark. over there talking about Brooklyn's the ninth district of Jamaica's the ninth district in Brooklyn, and we tore our ass up on Twitter. Y'all are too disrespectful, and I want Yvette Clarke gone too. Because she's on like 4 boards. There's a Caribbean Immigrant Caucus, a Haitian Immigrant Caucus, an African Immigrant Caucus, and the CBC who says they're fighting for all black people and marginalized groups. So who's fighting for the foundational black Americans? And we got to deal with y'all disrespect. And then when I tell y'all turn to the government, oh, but that's not everybody. So we supposed to let them run amok? Are you voting in the way that we need y'all to vote? Because if not, get out the way. And we ain't got to visit your shops when we got braiders for days. We broke the barriers for an embrace to be worn on this ground. You want to tell us don't wear braids? Honey, we wearing it, and we wearing it better than you because y'all can't slay no edges. We lay baby here, okay? Josephine Baker.
I'm going to need you to close us out. We got to...
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry, Afro, because I was preaching. But are you going live on YouTube?
Tonight, no.
Tonight?
No.
Okay. Well, when are you coming back?
I got to... I don't know. I gotta see. I'll see. I'll let you know. Maybe Thursday. But actually, I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
Thank you, y'all. They said, let me cook. Afro was sparing y'all. That's what he was doing, okay? Because sometimes Afro has a big heart. Well, he does have a big heart, y'all. And don't think that we want to hurt y'all or anything, but we're going to demand our respect, and this is the way. So the boycotts isn't for a month. It's for a lifestyle, and I've been on it since 2023. I ain't been to an African establishment. I don't plan on going back from the disrespect that they're doing, Afro. So with that said, just hit my inbox when you're ready to go live. I don't have classes, I think, for another 2 weeks. So I'm free any day this week.
All right. Okay.
Anytime, rather.
I'll let you know.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Peace, love, and reparations, y'all.
Thank you guys. Make sure that you guys, if you guys want to listen to the playback, we have this and our other live. Go to For the Culture on YouTube. That's where we put all of the TikTok lives. All right. So it's on YouTube. You can listen to the premiere. We got a lot of great stuff on there. So you guys definitely want to go to that channel. And then me and Zizi, we have our own individual YouTube channels and social media as well. And the links to all of that stuff is in our bio. So just go to our bio, follow first off, then go to our bio, click those links, and then you guys can follow us on all of the rest of our social media. But make sure you go to For the Culture on YouTube. Okay, that's where you get to listen to the playback of this live. All right. With that being said, you all have a good rest of your night.
Be one.
You too, Apple.
You all too.
Good night, Cece.
Good night.